The San Diego Padres and the entire San Diego region lost its most beloved son.
Anaheim. It's comfortable, and we have nice weather here in San Diego. So it'll be an interesting day for Pat Murphy. He's been around a long time, but
he's been managing at AAA. I know Travis Buck played for him, I think, at AAA.
Sogard played for him in college.
Yeah, in Sogard in college, and he's been away from the college ranks for a little while, but in professional baseball and with the Padres. And you know, the interesting thing, the interim manager last night, and interim manager again today, continues for the remainder of the season. Just talking to someone of the Padres, they said they did some in-house interviewing. Did not say whom they interviewed, but Pat Murphy has been given the job for the remainder of the season. In fact, as we talked last night on the TV side, that perhaps with 4 general managers, this is something that the current general manager wanted if he was going to make at least a change, because the Padres were not playing up to where they expected to be. But we'll see how Pat Murphy does.
So he'll get his first shot this afternoon. So I'm sure there maybe some anticipation. Who knows? Maybe some butterflies. Long-time college coach, and now he's in the big leagues. The Padres have taken the field. Andrew Kashner starting his warm-up tosses, and the Athletics are set to go, and they will try to make it a couple wins in a row. A's are 27-39 on the year, but they have won 4 out of 6, and the constant for the A's has been the great starting pitching, and it was evident last night, and really it's been evident for quite a while now. And the A's are hoping that maybe the great starting pitching can lead to a winning streak. And guys, I don't know if you agree with me or not, but the one thing you have to have if you're going to rattle off 7, 8 wins in a row, or have one of those stretches where you win maybe 12 out of 15, you have to have good starting pitching. And that's what the A's have had that. So the most important ingredient for a win streak is there for the Athletics.
Well, they have been getting it. The guys pitching today kind of been right in the middle of it, especially if you look at his last start. Vince Cotroneo, I know it. You had to be pleased, as we all were, with Scott Kazmir, a different style of pitching that he had in that game.
See if Kazmir can carry that over into today's game. And for the Padres, big, hard-throwing right-hander Andrew Kashner. And Kashner has just now finished his warm-up tosses. Billy Burns steps in the box. So we are set for baseball, interleague baseball, from Petco Park. And for the first pitch, here's Vince Cotroneo.
His stuff and his record just don't seem to jive. He's ready to go. First pitch on this Tuesday afternoon, a fastball down and away. And we welcome you to A's baseball from San Diego against the Padres. Billy Burns standing in, batting .308. 2 homers, 11 RBIs, 1-0 pitch, down low. 2 balls and no strikes. Out of the chute at 94 miles an hour is Kashner. 2-8 record of 4.16 ERA. Big righty off the first base side of the hill, and the next delivery is fouled back. And it is 2 balls and a strike. 6'5", 230. He's from north of Houston, from Montgomery, Texas. Out of TCU, former #1 pick of the Chicago Cubs, came over the Anthony Rizzo deal. A swing and a liner towards short, and to his right goes Clint Barmas. He'll make the catch, and Burns is retired. Set the defense for you for Pat Murphy's debut as the skipper of San Diego. He's got Yanzer Alonso at first, Corey Spangenberg at second, Clint Barmas the shortstop, and Will Middlebrooks at third, with Austin Hedges behind the plate. The brothers Upton in left and center, Justin and Melvin, and Matt Kemp is in right. First pitch to Eric Sogard, a strike on the outside corner. He's left-hand hitting shortstop today, batting .254 with 16 RBIs. 0-1 pitch lifted out of play behind third and slicing into the seats at 96, and it's 0-2.
And Vinny, it's possible that the Padres players got to be saying, okay, who's managing tomorrow? Had a different one Sunday, Monday.
3 in 3 days.
3 days.
Here comes the 0-2. Swung on, hit out of play. Over the A's dugout again. Yeah, it's been a rather confusing 48 hours around here for the Padres and in that clubhouse. A club that was expected to play extremely well this year, as play began today. 6 back of the Dodgers in the West, 2 games under 500. 0-2 pitch high, pop up behind first base. Alonso calling for it, now stepping into foul territory. Makes the catch, and Sogard is retired. And there are 2 outs, and here comes Josh Reddick, who's been red hot Josh batting nearly .350 in his last 2 weeks, lifting his average to .307. Drove in his 40th run last night. Opposite field base hit. He has 10 home runs on the year.
And the more Josh Reddick does that, the better he knows he's going to be. And I think his best statement is, I don't try to hit home runs, I react. And what he did last night, that's taking a pitch outside, running away from him, as did Vogt.
First pitch to Reddick, a strike on the outside corner.
You're right about Castro. He can throw hard. I mean, when you look at his numbers, very surprising to have 8 losses.
He is winless here at home. A swing and a ground ball sharply hit on the right side, but down to a knee. The second baseman Spangenberg throws the first. And the A's go 1-2-3 against Cashner in the top of the first inning. At the end of a half, it's Oakland nothing, and the Padres are coming up. Kazmir going to work in the bottom of the first inning. And facing a Padre team that is second in the National League in runs scored. And Melvin Upton Jr. will lead things off against Scott, who's 3-4 on the year with a 2.79 ERA. Allowed 1 hit his last outing, a single by Elvis Andrus in 8 innings against the Rangers. And his first pitch to the outside corner, strike 1.
Well, you noticed last night watching Upton pinch hit in Tampa, he just kind of really didn't move his front foot, just kind of rolled on it a little bit.
0-1, changeup fouled over the screen. And quickly ahead is Kazmir, 0-2.
Now he's kind of lifting the front foot, and a little timing mechanism for him. Talk about pressure, signing a huge contract and not fulfilling at least 2 years of that and traded. And you'll be best known for, oh, by the way, we're going to get that closer, but you have to be included in the trade. Otherwise, it's going to not make the trade.
Talking about Craig Kimbrell, who the A's have not seen yet. 0-2 fastball just wide. Upton signed a 5-year, $75 million deal with Atlanta, and he was a bust there. Only 10 at-bats so far this year. He was on the DL with a foot injury. The wind, the pitch, swung on and missed, tied him up inside, and Upton is down on strikes. 93 miles an hour from Kazmir.
Didn't he hurt his foot when he changed his name?
Yeah,
exactly. That coincided with that?
BJ was healthier, is what you're saying?
Yeah, well, you know, how would you like to have a name of BJ Upton, Bossman Jr. Upton?
Right.
I mean, I guess his dad was Bossman.
Yep.
So he's Junior. It's like Junior Fleas named his kid Junior Fleas Jr.
Now yonder Alonso. Ray will be here the entire game.
That is some deep-rooted journalism right there.
I mean, I remember that. I could not believe it. I said, what's your kid's name? I just named him a Junior. You mean Junior Fleas Jr.? I said, yeah, that's his name.
Alonso swings at the first pitch, fouls it off, batting .313.
Keep it in the family.
He was 0 for 4 yesterday. 2 homers, 18 RBIs. Kazmir off the third base side of the hill. Long look into Fegley. Now back to the play with the 0-1. Off speed and hit out a play off to the left. And it's 0-2. The A's have Billy Butler at first base. Ben Zobrist at second. Eric Sogard, the shortstop, and Max Muncy at third with Josh Fegley behind the plate. Sam Fold in left. Billy Burns in center. Josh Reddick is in right. Left on left here. Kazmir against Alonso. Scoreless in the bottom of the first inning. The turn by the lefty and the pitch. Fastball fouled off again out of play over the A's third base dugout.
But as we noted with Scott Kazmir, and had a nice pregame show with him where he talked about adding and subtracting and not showing at the beginning and the scouting reports. And I thought it's brilliant to have the Rangers saying, who is this guy? What is he throwing? He's not throwing anything. Here comes a 94-95.
0-2, swung on line, back up the middle. That's a base hit. And Alonso gets his first hit in the series against the Athletics with a clean single on a 2-strike pitch back up the middle, equaling the total that Scott allowed in 8 innings against Texas in his last outing. He faced the Padres a long time ago, back when he was a young flamethrower with 11 strikeouts as a Tampa Bay Ray against the Padres. In fact, he was a double Ray back then. That was the season that he led the American League at age 23 in strikeouts. Now Justin Upton. Upton batting .282, 13 homers and 41 driven in. The stretch, the pitch, a fastball too tight. It's ball 1. So 1 out, 1 on. Glenn Hoffman, the coach at third, and over at first base for San Diego is Jose Valentin. For their interim manager for the remainder of the year, Pat Murphy. Here's the 1-0. Off speed inside with a slide step. Smothered by Fegley, shifting to his left. It's 2 balls and no strikes. He's got to be nervous, Pat Murphy.
Oh, yeah.
I don't care that he's been in the game in some capacity for 3 decades.
Well, the only thing that might have helped him, when he was let go at ASU, at least he went into the professional ranks as a minor league manager, so he's had the experience at this level, or at least professionally.
2-0 pitch is golfed behind first base, and that's going to reach the seats out of play. Billy Butler for a look and nothing more. And it's 2 balls and a strike.
I saw a video. It's kind of a comical video. Jeff Francoeur played for him last year as well as Travis Buck. And I guess Travis represented the A's in Major League Baseball amateur draft. So I assume he's no longer in baseball. I haven't checked on him lately.
A lot of injuries for Travis over the years. Here's the 2-1. Change up high fly ball left center field. Chasing Burns back to the track near the wall. Jumps at the wall. And Billy Burns makes an outstanding catch. A chance to double off Alonso. They'll throw back to first and get the double play.
Wow.
8-4-3 as Billy Burns tracks it down in deep left center field. And the Padres come away empty-handed. Great catch by Burns. He might have stolen a home run. And that's how the bottom of the first inning concludes for the Padres. At the end of 1, A's and San Diego, no score.
You're tuned to Oakland Athletics Baseball on 95.7 The Game.
First pitch in the top of the second to Ben Zobrist is outside, ball one. No score in the second, thanks in large part to the acrobatic catch yet again from Billy Burns. Next delivery to Ben is outside and low. He walked 4 times, had a base hit yesterday, and scored 3 runs in the 9-1 win. Ben batting .226, 2 homers and 16 RBIs. Fastball is over at the knees. A strike taken, and it's 2-1.
You know, normally when a pitcher's pitching, guys say, have a good game. I think Kazmir goes directly to Burns and says, have a great game yourself.
Here's the 2-1. It's way inside. 3 balls and a strike. Well, following the game against Texas, when Billy made those 2 outstanding catches Thursday afternoon, Scott Kazmir showed his appreciation by getting Billy a nice piece of luggage. 3-1 offer, swung on, grounded up the middle to his right. Spangenberg backhands, throws across his body, and in time to get Zobrist. Nice play by Spangenberg. 4 up and 4 down for Kazmir. And here comes Butler, and I think we'll certainly make the case that Burns may have taken a home run away from Justin Upton. Reaching up above the wall in deep center field, just to the right of the 396 sign.
He had just enough time to put his right hand up and kind of brace himself against the wall, and I think that lessened the banging into the wall, which he did a little bit, but he had a chance to brace himself.
Butler stands in, takes strike 1 on a 96-mile-an-hour fastball from Kashner, who likes to work quickly. Billy didn't start last night, batting .247, and the 1-strike pitch is over, and a slider puts him ahead at 0-2. Butler came off the bench last night, had a base hit. He's got 4 homers, 29 driven in. This is his second start this year at first base. 0-2, another slider, that one outside. The other game he started at first was against the Astros on April 24th. Hoping for a better result at the plate. He was 0 for 5 in that game. Played a lot of first base for the Royals down the stretch last year. Here's the 1-2, swung on and fouled at the plate, in and out of the mitt of Hedges, and it stays at a ball and 2 strikes.
It sounds like Brett Laurie is back a little stiff again, so he got the day off today. Muncy slides over from first to play third base today, which opens up first base for Butler.
1-2 pitch, breaking ball, hit out of play, and off to the right side into the second deck. It's a 3-deck ballpark here at Petco, just off of downtown San Diego. It is a big ballpark. It opened up in 2004. The wind and the 1-2 to Country Breakfast. He swings and lines it toward the right field corner. It ends up foul by 5 or 6 feet. Stays a ball and 2 strikes. It is a 336 down the left field line, 386 to deep left center, 396 where Billy Burns was leaping at the wall, 391 to right center, 322 down the right field line. 1-2 pitch down low. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Scoreless in the second. A's and Padres will continue this interleague series at the Coliseum tomorrow night. The 2-2. Outside again. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Missing with the slider.
We'll have that same view of the beach and the berm out in center field.
You guys will be wearing ties tomorrow too.
What?
Payoff pitch. It's low, ball 4, and Butler draws the walk, and here comes Max Muncy.
You know, you mentioned a 322 down the right field line. It's about a 10-foot section of 322, then it juts out much deeper. It's really kind of a strange park. Cap was talking last night about how fences moved in. I'm sure you did the same thing on the radio side. And, you know, you think of how much 10, 11 feet is. That's a bunch when you start trying to hit home runs. As Upton found out with a nice play by Billy Burns.
And the wall in center is 8 feet, so Burns able to scale that and get up above the wall and bring it back off the bat of Justin Upton. Now Muncy stands in, swings at a fastball just to our left. And out of play for strike 1. Max batting .211. He was 1 for 5 last night playing first base. A couple of home runs, 6 RBIs.
And as a rookie, Vinny started to get a little bit more animated when pitches that he thinks are not strikes are called strikes. And that's something he was not doing when he first came up, which is smart.
0-1 pitch over the inside corner at the knees. He does shoot a look back to Trip Gibson right on cue. and it's 0-2.
When you watch him at the plate, and very similar to Billy Butler in a sense where he sees the ball a long time, waits a long time, which means that he's got a pretty good idea of the strike zone.
Outfield the other way on the left-hand hitter. Fastball, strike 3 called, and Muncy knew it. He's gone on strikes. The first K for Andrew Kashner, who had 75 strikeouts coming into the game in 80 innings. They are a power staff. They really love the fastball. And much like Tyson Ross last night, a fastball slider combination from this big righty. And now here's Josh Phegley. Batting .295, goes after the first offering and sends it back out of play for strike 1. Scoreless in the second, 2 outs, and Butler at first base.
You see the address to Petco Park? 19 Tony Gwynn Drive. That's kind of cool.
It should be.
Today's
he's not here to enjoy it. It's sad.
1-year anniversary of the Hall of Famer's passing here in San Diego. 0-1 pitch outside, 1 ball and 1 strike. A 15-time All-Star. Got 97% of the vote inducted into the Hall of Fame. To set the pitch. It is over but low. Ball 2. 2 balls and a strike. And
Tommy John has an elbow surgery named after him. George Brett has a surgery we don't want to talk about. But how about the 5.5 hole? That's right. Yep. For Tony Gwynn. He could hit the 5.5 hole better than anybody with that very small bat.
8 batting titles. Breaking ball strike to Phegley over the outside corner. Even count of 2 balls and 2 strikes. 3,141 hits for the late Tony Gwynn, who was on everybody's list at the very top as their favorite and best pregame show guest. He was chairman of the board emeritus, no question about it.
I got it.
2-2 pitch, swung on, hit towards short. Soft liner, short hopped by Barmas. He'll underhand to Spangenberg at second, and the inning is over for the A's. No runs, no hits, no errors. A man left on to the bottom of the second. And we are scoreless in San Diego. To year up. Right now, find great deals on designer brands, including Joseph Abboud, Calvin Klein, and Kenneth Cole. To find a store or shop online, visit menswarehouse.com. The A's with an unconventional but still effective double play ending the bottom of the first, as it went 8-4-3 over to first base, doubling off Alonso, which was started with a great catch by Burns. And now Matt Kemp stands in, and the slugging outfielder takes outside, ball 1. We're scoreless in the bottom of the second. Hard to imagine that Kemp has only 2 home runs this year for San Diego. Batting .246. He's driven in 33. He was 0 for 3 last night. Kazmir turns, and the lefty's 1-0 delivery. Breaking ball over for a strike, evens the count.
After this year, Matt Kemp still has 4 years left on his contract with $107 million left on it. Now the Dodgers are paying a little bit of that.
1-1 pitch, swung on, foul back. In fact, 18 of the 21 million each year.
This year, yeah.
It's a lot of cash. A lot of outfielders in Los Angeles. They wanted to give Jock Peterson an opportunity. He's proven his worth. But the Dodgers were so happy to say goodbye to Kemp that they literally paid for another team in their own division to let him play and make him leave. 1-2. Fastball hit out of play off to the right.
So the Dodgers paying $18 million this year of a $21 million salary. So it's okay for the Padres this year, but next year through 2019 is when they're going to have to pay most of the freight on Matt Kemp. So they need him to turn things around.
Hit 25 home runs in a bounce back season for the Dodgers a year ago. 1-2 offer. Breaking ball low. 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Tell you what, I still think of Jose Bautista. We've yet to see the Blue Jays this year. Josh Donaldson, of course, with the A's last year. And you watch their approach. You watch how they load up. I think a lot of guys are so passive, and just watching Kemp, he doesn't really move that much until the ball's en route, and it takes a very little time to make an adjustment.
2-2. Missed outside, tried the off-speed pitch.
But if you're known as a home run hitter, you're making a lot of money, why not load up and let it go? I mean, you might as well sacrifice an average, a batting average, and hit home runs.
It's not like he played in a bandbox before at Dodger Stadium, especially at night. 3-2 pitch, fastball line towards short, and caught by Sogard above his cap. Terrific play by Sogard on a screaming line drive off the bat of Matt Kemp. So the A's are flashing some leather supporting Kazmir in the early goings of today's game.
Ready to bring out his checkbook for his purchase.
Luggage for everybody.
That's right. I mean, don't individualize. Just bring it out. Let's go. Just have it in your locker. Hey, Foose, load me up. Pass it out.
Now Will Middlebrook standing in. He came off the bench last night. Third baseman takes outside ball 1, the former Red Sox player.
So the A's dugout, you could be yelling, hey, keep fooling him, Scotty.
No, the Padres are saying that.
Maybe both dugouts.
That's true.
1-0 change. That one floats in for a strike, and it's 1-1 now. Maybe Scott just put a big picture of a fancy piece of luggage up in the clubhouse and said,
that's right.
This can be yours, and this is all you have to do.
Door number 1.
You just go Monty Hall on us?
Here's the 1-1. Swung on, bounce weakly to third behind the bag. Backhanded, but a foul ball as Muncy handles it and ruled a foul by Mike DeMuro. So Middlebrooks, 1 ball, 2 strikes at the plate. We'll pause 10 seconds. Station identification on the A's radio network.
Your home for Oakland A's baseball.
On Middlebrooks, and Kazmir fires. Fastball got him looking, and he knew it. Right at the knees on the outer half at 94. And Middlebrooks is the second strikeout victim of Kazmir. Alongside Glenn Kuiper and Ray Fosse, Vince Cotroneo with you as the marine layer continues to burn off here in downtown San Diego.
You know, excuse me, Vinny, with all the advanced media and with the video, I wonder how much the Padres watched Scott Kazmir from his last start against the Rangers. A couple of hard hit balls, but then all of a sudden he bumps it up to Middlebrooks and says, okay, I still do have it. Be ready for it.
First pitch to Kazmir is on the outside corner. Started him off soft as well with a slider. And it's 0-1. Barmes batting .284, 2 homers and 4 driven in. He's 36 now. Signed as a free agent in the offseason. He's played for the Rockies and the Pirates and the Astros. He swings at the 1-strike pitch down and in and grounds it behind the plate. And it is 0-2.
And it looks like Fegley and Kazmir trying to get on the same page, which sometimes a little difficult to watch Kazmir stare in and go through multiple signs even without a runner at second base. It's like he has an idea what he wants to do. He's waiting for the correct sign to be put down by Fegley.
8 strong innings on Thursday against the Rangers. A swing and a high fly ball to shallow center. No circus catch needed this time for Burns. He camps underneath, makes a one-handed catch, And it's a 1-2-3 bottom of the second for Scott Kazmir. At the end of 2, A's and Padres, still no score. The Angels, 6:35 first pitch. Visit athletics.com/fireworks. On to the third, and here's Glenn.
First pitch to Sam Fuld is a strike on the outside corner. So Fuld and then Kazmir and Burns, 8-9-1 for the A's. No score, top of the third. Fuld reaches for it and rolls it foul toward the Padres on deck circle. So a quick 0-2 hole for Sam Fuld, hitting .207. He's got 8 RBIs.
Well, National League Parks, we have to clarify that it's 8-9, the pitcher, and then 1.
That's right. In the dirt, blocked by Hedges. The count is 1-2 to Fuld. A's have one base runner in the first 2 innings. It was a 1-out walk to Butler.
Scott Kazmir walking the on-deck circle. He is more nervous now than he ever has been taking them out pitching.
You're probably right. Inside corner with a fastball, strike 3 called. Fuld can't believe it. That's the second strikeout for Andrew Kashner. So he throws hard, and he placed that one right on the inside corner.
I think whether it's a National League or American League, because National League pitchers hit all the time, but a pitcher is always trying desperately to get the 8th place hitter out so he does not allow the pitcher to bunt. Kazmir will be swinging the bat carefully, we hope.
Kazmir batting left-handed, and the first pitch is at the knees with a fastball, 92 miles an hour for a strike.
I'm all for him standing there as a statue, to be honest with you, instead of getting hurt.
I agree.
No offense, Scott.
0-1 delivery, and he swings and misses, and it's 0-2.
That's 95, Scott. That's not 47 thrown by Ty Waller in the cage.
From 50 feet.
Yeah. He's talking at Anaheim. Somebody said, "You're going to hit on the field?" He says, "No, I want to keep a controlled environment in the cage, so I'm not really trying to hurry up and swing hard."
0-2 pitch, a tight slider, and Kazmir on 3 pitches. He swings and misses, so he strikes out. Back-to-back strikeouts for Andrew Kashner.
I think the one thing we've heard more than anything from pitchers in the American League hitting in National League Parks is that how much more they appreciate the difficulty of hitting.
Yeah, that's a good call.
Whenever they have to put a bat in their hands and they stand up at the plate. Even Sean Doodle last year when he pinched hit. I mean, here's an accomplished first baseman who actually played and hit.
First pitch to Billy Burns, the leadoff man, is a called strike. So Kashner, it looks like, at least in the early going, has found a pretty good groove. Kazmir will have to quickly sit down. 1-1 the count.
You know, you put hitting into perspective. Let's say an everyday player goes to the plate 600 times. He gets 200 hits. That's a .333 batting average. He made 400 outs. I mean, you can't. It's really hard to imagine those numbers.
1-1 pitch up and away, off-speed pitch from Cashner, 2-1.
I was going to say, it was great to see from Burns that he took a first pitch strike, but his pitcher was going back to the dugout after he was at the plate.
That's a good call.
And that's what Eric Sogard yelled at him as he was going up to hit. Now, that is something. All the new rules are actually changes for hitters because of pitchers actually trying to hit.
Fouled straight back. Good swing by Burns there. 2-2 the count. Burns hit a line drive to the shortstop, Barmes, leading off the ball game.
Well, he's already +2. His home run saving catch.
Cashner looks in. Big right-hander kicks, and the 2-2 pitch is a one-hopper to the first baseman, Alonso, who hustles to the bag. He beats Burns there, side retired. That's a 3-up, 3-down inning with a couple of strikeouts for Andrew Cashner. Bottom of the third coming up. No score, A's and Padres. It's the bottom of the third inning. Scott Kazmir will face Spangenberg, Hedges, and Cashner. Bottom three in the order. First pitch to Spangenberg is bunted out in front. Fegley hustles after it. He throws to first in a close play, and they just get Spangenberg. So that ball rolled out, and it rolled about halfway between home plate and the mound, so there's always that who's going to take it.
Right.
And Fegley grabbed it, and they just got the runner at first.
And you think about Fegley with his gun, and Billy Butler came down the line like looking at him like, why are you throwing it into the runner? Well, that's as quickly I could get rid of it. I mean, he had no choice but to hurry his throw. And you're right, Cap. I mean, that's one, if you're a pitcher and you know Fegley's behind the mound or behind the plate or any catcher, you just get out of the way and let him take it. It's going to be much easier play for a catcher going that direction.
First pitch to the young catcher Austin Hedges is a called strike on the outside corner. Hedges pinch hit last night. Slider for a strike and a good one. 0-2. Hedges 2 hits in 25 at bats this year, not getting a chance to play a whole lot. This one's fouled straight back to the screen, but considered one of the Padres' top prospects.
I thought it was interesting that Stephen Vogt, talking before he hit the grand slam, telling us last night that he thought the catcher who knew him wanted to get ahead with a first pitch fastball, and Vogt was looking for it when he hit the grand slam, his second of the season.
0-2 pitch, changeup just a bit outside, not by much, but it was good to see Stephen Vogt 3 hits.
Yeah.
Of course, the grand slam, 5 RBIs. Talked to him after the game. He loved the grand slam. I think he enjoyed that line drive base hit to left field as well earlier in the game. 1-2 delivery in the dirt, blocked by Fegley.
But you know, it's really sometimes you don't necessarily think about what the pitcher's going to do. You think how the catcher is going to call a game, and you know that's pretty much. I mean, it's kind of a guessing game in a sense. But he evidently thought he was going to get a fastball. He did get it, as Derek Norris called it.
2-2 delivery is drilled to left, and that's hit well. Folds going back. He's near the wall, and it is gone. Deep left center field. Austin Hedges has got his first major league home run, and it gives the Padres a 1-0 lead. So Fuld leaped up, and he almost made a terrific catch, but it just got over the wall into the first row.
Wow. Hitting 080. 2-2, 90-mile-an-hour fastball. Gave him a chance to extend his arms, and missing with a changeup. The previous pitch didn't help, but man, that's great extension for the youngster.
So here's Andrew Cashner, the pitcher. Cashner shows bunt, pitches up and away. So Austin Hedges, he's 22 years old, his first big league home run. So this will be a special day for him on the calendar. Cashner takes a fastball for a strike, 93 miles an hour from Casimir.
Unlike the ball Upton hit that Billy Burns had a chance because of high arcing. This is a line drive and barely made it into the seats, but Sam Fuld could not, because of the line drive effect, get back quickly enough.
Cashner, big swing and a miss. That one 95 miles an hour. Cashner, he's got a good swing. Hitting just 125. But you know what? He looks good up there. He's big and strong, and he takes a pretty good hack. He's got 3 hits in 24 at-bats.
Been over like Evan Gattis.
That's right.
Built like him, too.
I know. But I mean, Gattis, the only difference is Cashner has batting gloves. Gattis just takes that bat, turns it to sawdust.
Casimir's 1-2 pitch is low, so 2-2 to the pitcher. Padres with a 1-0 lead on the Hedges home run. Fastball inside as Cashner turns out of the way a little bit. So full count with Melvin Upton waiting in the on-deck circle. Payoff pitch to the pitcher, and that one's right there, strike 3 called. So that's strikeout number 3 for Casimir. 2 outs here in the bottom of the third.
A lot of advantages for pitchers in the National League, and you just watched right there, Cashner. I mean, he looked like a hitter. They take batting practice every day before the extra men or the regular group, but they're into their little contest trying to see who can hit the ball the farthest. But obviously, they all want to be able to sacrifice, but he had some pretty good swings.
Top of the order, Melvin Upton, who struck out swinging in the first inning. And the first pitch is outside with off speed, 1-0. Upton now 1 for 11 on this season. He swings and misses at a fastball. Still strange to see Melvin Upton struggles so much, and this is not just a month or 2 months. This is going on 3 years of struggling.
Oh, with that swing right there, he had no clue.
No chance.
Granted, he's not had that many at bats.
Casimir delivers the 1-1, and it's just off the plate with a fastball. I don't know that his swing looks a whole lot different, but when he was with the Rays, you're talking about really one of the better all-around players in the American League. He could steal bags, good defense, hit for some power.
Turned out to be a great center fielder after trying him on the infield.
2-1 delivery, swings and misses, and he missed it on the outside corner.
One guy that worked with him as he was still an infielder was Ron Washington one off season. But he loved to play shallow in center and dared to hit it over his head. He had that kind of confidence.
He's always struck out quite a bit, but still there was other parts of his game who made him so dangerous. Lays off a curveball, 3-2. I mean, he was a legitimate 30 stolen base guy, maybe more if he just couldn't get on base. Trying to figure it all out now here with the Padres. 3-2. Casimir delivers. And it just missed inside, and Upton with a pretty good at bat there. He did swing and miss a couple times, but he takes some close pitches and he gets the walk.
Try to fool him with a changeup, and watching his swing on fastballs. His swing told you he couldn't catch up to a fastball, even at 90 by Cashman.
So here's Yonder Alonso, a powerful left-handed hitter, first baseman who singled in the first. Hitting .319. He was 0 for 4 last night. Upton has a huge lead at first, not running, and the pitch is outside. Outfield plays Alonso maybe shifted toward left center just a little bit. He's got a couple of home runs, 18 RBIs. And he hits that one hard right to the first baseman Butler, who backhands it a couple steps toward the bag. Side retired. So a very hard hit ball, but Butler was right there. Side retired. Austin Hedges with his first big league home run, and the Padres lead 1-0 after 3. Austin Hedges home run. Sogard leads off the top of the fourth and skies one toward left center field. The Upton brothers come together. It'll be the center fielder, Melvin Upton, who grabs it. So 1 pitch, 1 out for Cashner here in the top of the fourth.
It's a lot different than last night when the A's really made Tyson Ross work a lot of deep counts, a lot of 3-ball counts.
Yeah, just 45 pitches for Cashner. It still shocks me that he's 2-8. I mean, this guy has really, really good stuff. First pitch to Reddick is a little slider that drops in for a strike. Last year, Cashner went on the disabled list a couple of times. He made 19 starts. 0-1 pitch, fastball, outside corner 0-2. He was 5-7 with a 2.55 ERA. He's 28 years old. And the 0-2 delivery to Reddick. And Reddick hits a high pop-up again towards center field. Melvin Upton in a little bit, over a little bit. He grabs it, and that's 2 outs. And 2 quick outs. And now Ben Zobrist will hit.
And the only first pitch non-strike was Billy Burns leading off the game. Other than that, he's getting ahead, minimizing the number of pitches per at bat, getting the outs.
And you know, 0-2 pitch to Reddick, he just came right at him with a fastball.
I mean, you see the way the center field, this is a big ballpark, and just pitch it, throw it in the right location, get a hitter to try to pull it.
First pitch to Ben Zobrist is a little off the plate, 95 miles an hour, and Cashner can get it up there at 97, 98.
Should take more time between pitches. Huh?
He is not messing around. Our kind of guy. Zobrist takes a strike, 1-1. Zobrist grounded out to second, leading off the second. It's good to see Ben Zobrist starting to move around much better. Hopefully that knee is starting to feel better. 1-1 pitch is low, 87 miles an hour. So 1-0 Padres, top of the fourth inning. The 2-1 delivery to Zobrist is inside, and now 3-1. A's do not have a hit yet, and they've had one base runner. The 3-1 delivery, and it's hit hard towards second, but right at Spangenberg. Takes a step to his right, scoops it up, throws to first, and that's another 3-up, 3-down inning for Andrew Cashner. Bottom of the fourth coming up. Padres 1, A's nothing. Petco Park. And Scott Kazmir will face the heart of the order. Upton, Kemp, and Middlebrook. So 3 powerful right-handed hitters for San Diego. Kazmir with 47 pitches through 3 innings. And he delivers, and it's hit hard but foul past Glenn Hoffman, the Padres' third base coach. Brother of Trevor Hoffman.
When's he eligible?
It's got to be soon, huh? He hasn't been out that long.
Yeah.
He's been out 3-4 years. So
see, it's not this next year because Griffey, I think, go first ballot probably maybe year after.
0-1 delivery to Upton. Changeup stays up and away just a little bit. 1-1 the count.
Then he's going to jump on Mr. Computer and let us know in a very quick amount of time.
Then he'll have this for us by Matt Kemp's at bat.
Maybe by the next pitch.
1-1 delivery, another changeup, and it floated down and away, but Upton went around. He tried to hold up, could not do it, and Tripp Gibson pointed at Upton and said, "You went around." So the
last year,
1-2.
his last year was 2010.
Okay. So next year, 16.
1-2 delivery, fastball fouled straight back by Upton. Justin Upton's going to be a highly sought after free agent after this year.
What if it's going to be a package deal? The Upton brothers again?
I don't think so. He's going to go off on his own this time. He's just 28 years old, and he's a very, very good player.
Yeah.
Started with the Diamondbacks, was the first-round draft pick of the Diamondbacks. A couple years in Atlanta.
Well, we saw him turn on some fastballs last year when the A's were down in Atlanta.
Oh, yeah, he hurt the A's big time in that series. 1-2 delivery is hit hard past a diving Muncy and into left field for a base hit. So those big guys, their ground balls come a little quicker than the small guy. That was a hard hit ball, so a leadoff single from Upton.
A 2-strike changeup, and Hedges got one that he hit for a home run. This one on the ground. But look at the changeups that have been hit. I mean, it's a huge difference in this game for Scott Kazmir, and evidently the changeup velocity differential is not fooling anybody because they have been hit hard today.
Here's Matt Kemp. Kemp lined out to the shortstop, his first at bat. Kazmir's first pitch is in for a strike. Matt Kemp, he averaged down to 245. He's 0 for 4 with a walk in the first 2 games of this series. Outside and a count 1-1. Padres are second in the National League in total runs scored. They're a very difficult team to figure out statistically. 1-1 pitch. Changeup is low, 2-1, but their run differential is -14. And they're a couple games under 500, the Padres. In fact, now the Padres are in 4th place in the National League West. The Diamondbacks jumped ahead of them last night. Chip Hale has his Diamondbacks playing well. That one's hit high in the air, foul down the right field line.
Yasmani Tomas has begun to settle in for them. Remember, at the beginning they were concerned about where he could play and what he hit. He had a rocky start to his career in the United States, but he's kind of settled in. He's done a nice job for them.
I wonder if him settling in made trading Trumbo a little bit easier, if possible. Opened up a spot for him to play defensively in the outfield. 2-1 pitch, fouled straight back.
Does that mean Ariel Prieto's back in the big leagues?
I hope so. I just like listening to Prieto talk. That was the best part. How are you? Doing good.
Extra ambidextrous. I mean, that's it. Throw BP left and right, which is pretty good.
2-2 the count to Kemp. 1-0 Padres lead, bottom of the 4th. Upton, decent lead at first. Long look by Kazmir, and the pitch is hit high in the air down the right field line, and this one will be fouled.
Yeah, these hitters are strong. And look at Kemp, he's a very strong individual, but these guys do not start to swing until really the pitcher releases the ball. I mean, it's a late load, and you watch again some hitters. I'm just amazed because you can, at our angle, you can watch Kazmir deliver and watch Kemp, and he does not move, and that's why a lot of balls are fouled to the right side, changeups or fastballs, especially the fastball.
And he swings and misses at a changeup down and away. So the struggles continue for Matt Kemp. That was the 4th strikeout for Kazmir.
Oh, that was a good one because that was a way. You don't give a hitter a chance as he did with Upton and Hedges by throwing a changeup in, have it float away, and typically left-handers with their arm angles and the way they throw, it's a natural sinker, and changeup changes speeds even better.
It almost looks like Kemp is just trying to put the ball in play.
Exactly. Feeling it. Just like Melvin, formerly B.J. Upton.
Yeah, but with that said, as Middlebrooks hits a soft line drive in the center field, a base hit. Upton racing around second. He's going to go to third. He slides in safely without a throw. So Middlebrooks with a soft single to center field, and the Padres have first and third, one out.
And the softness of that single enabled Upton to go to third. He did not hesitate. And fortunately, as Billy Burns came up to throw, he thought about going to third. That would have been an ill-advised throw. Get the ball back in, keep the double play in order.
So here's Clint Barmas. Barmas hit a fly ball to center field in the second. So Kazmir in a jam here in the bottom of the 4th with the A's trailing 1-0. Barmas, right-handed hitter, slightly open stance. And the first pitch, he bunts it up the first base line. It's a good one. Run's going to score, and nobody's covering first, and Barmas is safe. Muncy came in, he picked it up, right along the line. Zobrist was late getting over there to cover first, so Muncy didn't even have a throw, and the run comes in to score. In fact, it's Billy Butler. I'm sorry, Billy Butler at first base. So maybe they're thinking take advantage of a guy who's playing just his second game at first.
I tell you, once Butler fielded the ball, Zobrist was so far away, he was shading up close to second for a possible double play ground ball. He had a long run. That's just a perfect bunt and a surprise bunt. And like I said, maybe taking advantage of Butler has not played there that much, but I don't think, could have laid down a more perfect bunt. Kind of a safety squeeze.
And Butler came in and he just turned around and there was nobody at the bag.
You know, he might have been better suited to try to get Upton at home, because on a safety squeeze, the runner does not leave the bag until the ball is put in play. But as he was charging, he definitely had no chance at first base.
So 2-0 Padres. Still only one out, with Middlebrooks now at second, Barmas at first, and it's going to be Corey Spangenberg. So 3 hits in the inning for San Diego and a run in. First pitch to Spangenberg is low. So 1-0 to the young second baseman, who bunted into an out in the third inning. Fegley's going to have a chat with Kazmir. And even though it's the bottom of the fourth inning, you sort of look at Andrew Cashner and say, well, it looks like he's got his good stuff today. Maybe this is a game you have to avoid a big inning by the opposition. Try to keep it close.
Well, he is right now just trying to get a first hit.
Kazmir. Long look in now. He's ready. And the 1-0 pitch is in there with a fastball first strike. Spangenberg almost looked like he was taken all the way. So 63 pitches now for Scott Kazmir. Trying to get out of this fourth inning jam. Middlebrooks at second, Barmas at first, and Kazmir steps off. Wants to go through the signs again with Fegley. Austin Hedges, the right-handed hitter, in the on-deck circle. 1-1 pitch, fouled straight back to the screen. A fastball on the inner half, and Spangenberg had a pretty good swing at it.
Well, as the game progresses, you start looking at the type of pitches you're throwing as a pitcher and a catcher, calling them, and what the hitters are doing against certain pitches, and that's when you make the changes. Second time through the batting order, a few more fastballs, it seems, from Kazmir this time around.
1-2 pitch, here it is, and it's line fouled on the left field line. Outfield playing Spangenberg pretty shallow, especially in left field and in center field. Slid over a little bit toward left. Middle infielders looking for a ground ball. Kazmir, the look and the pitch, and it's off the plate. 2-2. Kazmir standing off the rubber, and now he gets back on, really slowing things down. He's got the sign he wants. 2-2. And the pitch is, did he go around? Yes, he did. It was a pitch down and away in the dirt. Spangenberg thought he held up, but they checked down to Mike DeMuro, the third base umpire. And Mike DeMuro said, you went around, and that's a strikeout. Very close.
Side angle that DeMuro looked at in that gray area.
But a big strikeout for Kazmir. He's got 5 now in the game.
There's a lot of conversation around home plate last night. That first ball of the game hit by Billy Burns, a little tapper that the catcher counts on. You know, the ace thought that ball was fouled, and the at bat where the hitter thought he was hit
That's right.
And they went to replay and saw the ball was behind him.
Foul ball that wasn't.
Same hitter.
Now here's Austin Hedges, who takes a first pitch strike.
That Venable swung and missed a pitch. Vogt crossed up, took one off the head, and still not called a swing and miss.
0-1 to Hedges, who homered in the third. 2-0 the Padres lead. And he swings at a pitch in the dirt, missed it by a lot. 0-2. 2 on and 2 out. The home run in the third inning, the first major league home run for Austin Hedges. Just into the first row of the seats in deep left center field.
Right now, the Barmas bunt looks pretty big, considering what has developed after that perfect bunt. He's at first instead of a possible double play to get out of the inning.
First and second, 2 outs, and Kazmir's 0-2 pitch is hit high and foul down the right field line into the second level.
Cap, watching Barmas, the runner at first base. It is first and second, so he's not being held, but he's getting off in kind of a sprinter stance, and he's watching the runner at second. And he doesn't move. Normally guys will jump off, take a little secondary lead, but he gets in the kind of the sprinter stance, and he will not move until either contact is made or the pitch is by the hitter, and he goes back to first base.
Another 0-2 pitch is cued foul. The ball rolls slowly toward the Padres dugout on the first base line.
So we have seen base runners, good ones, who will jump off. See what? I mean, he basically is saying, I'm going to be going back to back instead of taking that secondary lead. So if a ball's in the dirt, now he's watching the runner first at second. He can't move unless he does, but just kind of a strange setup, because if Middlebrooks decides to run, he's going to get a sprinter start, but on a ball in the dirt, he may not be able to make it.
Another 0-2 pitch. Here it is. Swing and a miss. He got him off speed. And it ends up 3 strikeouts for Kazmir in the inning, but a run for the Padres. They get a run on 3 hits. So we're headed to the 5th. It's now the Padres 2 and the A's nothing. Garden with the first ever Sunny Gray solar powered gnome presented by Sungevity on Saturday, June 20th against the Angels. Be one of the first 15,000 fans to walk away with the gnome of the Athletics ace pitcher. The ball really lights up from solar panels built into the gnome. Get your tickets now by calling 877-493-BALL. Vince Cotroneo is back for the top of the 5th. Vinny.
Really, it lights up?
It does. It's awesome. Can't wait.
First pitch to Billy, down and in, ball 1. A's down 2-0. We start the 5th, and the righty's next delivery is swung on and foul behind the plate. You touched on it. The A's may be up against it based on what Kashner has done so far, and that is shut down the A's. He has not allowed a hit through 4, 1 base runner, and that was Butler with the 1-out walk in the second. Right-hand batter against the right-hand pitcher. A swing and a bouncing ball to third. To his left, Middlebrook scoops it up on the first base in time. And that will bring Muncy to the plate.
I think, Vinny, the point we're making is that Cashner is, even though the numbers aren't there statistically, he is good enough to completely shut you down. If he has the fastball working, spotting it, and so far today, he has been able to do that.
That's not just us talking.
No.
I mean, those are scouts that have seen him for a number of years, and they shake their head also.
He was the first round pick of the Cubs.
Now Muncy stands in, takes low, ball one. Muncy struck out looking back in the second. The A's really didn't know about Brett Lawrie until this morning, where the back was bothering him again. Fastball strike to the left-hand hitter. 1 ball and 1 strike. Muncy out of Baylor and Cashner out of a TCU. Max took strike 3 back in the second. Outfield the other way. Oakland down 2-0. Cashner's 1-1. It is low, ball 2. 2 balls and a strike.
So if one's from Baylor, one's from TCU, they may not know each other, but they just cannot like each other.
Yeah.
Right? It's just an automatic.
I think so. Purple for Cashner and green for Muncy. Here's the 2-1. Fastball too tight. 3 balls and a strike. The A's need base runners. Josh Phegley waiting on deck. Speaking of not liking each other, how about the Cardinals and the Astros? The 3-1 swung on, fly ball to deep right. Chasing Kemp back over his head, and it's going to go in play off the base of the wall. Around first, hustling in a second and sliding with a double is Max Muncy. The A's first hit of the afternoon, a line drive 2-base hit from Muncy over Kemp's head in deep right field. And for Max, his 7th double of the year.
That's the quickness of Max Muncy on a fastball. Looked for it, got it, didn't miss it. And Jay Kemp in right field. I don't know if that effort was as great as you'd like to see on somebody who's trying to preserve a no-hitter, but it was hit hard. It did hit off the wall, but I guess he's played a lot of center field. But right field for the Padres.
Now Phegley stands in. A's down 2-0. A slider to Josh is outside, ball 1. If there's one thing we've learned about Max Muncy, he can handle a big league fastball. Right. Saw it over the weekend also against the Angels when he turned around Matt Shoemaker. Fastball to the outside edge, a strike. 1-1 the count. Phegley hit into a forced play, his only time up. Cashner to the stretch. He's at the belt. A glance back at second base. The 1-1 hit hard toward right at Kemp, and he'll make the catch. No chance for a tag by Muncy. So Phegley retired for the second out, and that'll bring Sam Fuld to the plate.
Number 23, Sam Fuld.
Interesting call here for the Athletics with Sam Fuld.
Right.
Scott Kazmir is the scheduled on-deck hitter. And for Cashner, does he go after Fuld? Where are the bullpens here? I don't think.
Straight out and right in deep left center.
Yeah, there you go.
The 2 tiered bullpens.
I saw them all walking that same direction, so whether it's a bench clearing brawl, they stay out there and just fight, right? Or look at each other.
The leg kick, the righty's pitch. Fastball wide on Fuld. Took strike 3, his only time up. Oakland down 2-0 in the 5th.
And Fuld has to approach this at bat as if they are going to pitch to him. It's a 2-run lead. It's not like it's tied or even a 1-run deficit. We'll see. And maybe a good time always to expand the strike zone. If you get a pitch that's close enough to swing at, to drive in the run, do it.
Here's a 2-0. It darts inside. Now the count at Sam's favor. 2 balls and no strikes.
But if I were Cashner, I'd say, let's just put him on. Say Scott Kazmir, why even mess around? As you look at the bullpen, nothing's happening there, so no chance of a pinch hitter.
2 balls and no strikes. And backdoor delivery. Good slider that time from Cashner. And now 2 balls and a strike. Well, the A's ace has been the starting rotation in general, so kind of hard to take Cashner out of the game.
I agree.
Especially only 4 innings into the contest, even though he trails 2-0. Here comes the 2-1. Fastball up and in. 3 balls and a strike.
Just thinking that from Cashner's standpoint of the Padres, why even mess around with Sam Foltz? Even if you put him on, try to get him to hit your pitch, but don't worry about it, because I would think any American League pitcher hitting the National League and Interleague play is going to have any or much of a chance.
3-1. It is inside, ball 4. So Fold does get first base on the second walk allowed by Cashner, and here comes Kazmir to the plate. This would be quite a boost if he helps his own cause here.
Vinny, really from Cashner's standpoint, again, when you're pitching around or pitching carefully to a hitter, it's not that easy to do, because you can make a mistake. Instead of, they say, well, why don't you just put a guy on? Well, we want to try to hit our pitch. Well, if the pitcher is not capable, and I think that just shows that Cashner is the type of pitcher that can do that.
So here's Kazmir.
Start swinging right now.
Against Cashner. And the first pitch swung on line, foul past third base. Into a crowd of green and gold down there past third base. A good representation of A's fans here in San Diego. And it is strike one on Scott Kazmir against Andrew Cashner.
See, if he had started his swing a little earlier, that would have been a base hit up the middle. It's good that he made contact.
All we need is Brett Lawrie and Jed Lowry in this game. 0-1 pitch inside, 1 ball and 1 strike. A's down 2-0, 2 on and 2 out in the 5th from Petco Park in San Diego.
How come they're shading him in the outfield over towards left field and shallow? Got a lot of confidence that Kazmir is going to pull the ball.
Here comes the 1-1. A fastball strike taken by Scott. And it's 1 ball and 2 strikes. And Cashner gave him an, oh, by the way, I can dial it up there at 97. Put a little extra on that pitch. And ahead of ball and 2 strikes.
Yeah, after all, Cashner's got to be thinking, if I'm going to pitch carefully to Sam Foltz, who is accustomed to good fastballs, I'm not going to take a chance of having a pitcher who's not do anything of any damage.
Here's the 1-2. Fastball too tight. And now 2 balls and 2 strikes.
97 again.
I saw that. Billy Burns waiting on deck. He's trying to make some 2-out noise here in a National League park with their pitcher at the plate. A tall task. Let's see if the A's can make something happen here. 2-2 swung on and grounded. Fair! It's outside the third base bag. 1 run is in with Muncy. Fold to third being held up there as Justin Upton fires it back toward the infield, and the A's get 1 back. Kazmir gets the A's first hit by a pitcher since Tommy Malone in 2013. It ends a string of 37 at-bats, and the A's now trail it 2-1.
And Pat Murphy wondering why it was called fair. Maybe that's a questionable call, but maybe he's just shocked that a pitcher got a hit against a hard-throwing Cashner.
Fold up to a third base on the play, so Kazmir with the base hit and the RBI, and Oakland is on the board. And Pat Murphy finding out that there's not a whole lot they can do. They can't review it.
That's right.
The play's in front of the umpire behind third base, and Mike DeMiro made the call, and really the Padres got a break because the stance jut out there right toward where the ball would have headed to the left field corner. If it misses that spot on the field, then it's a tie game easily.
Absolutely. And Sam Foltz was running to Mike Gallego in hopes of being sent, but could not because Upton was playing shallow in left field. And plus the carom off the wall got to him quickly. So what a big boost for the Athletics and Scott Kazmir. I mean, he was late swinging, but he hit it just inside the line. And those fans down in the left field line said, thank you for not hitting it at me, but we'll cheer you for getting it into fair territory.
Now Billy Burns, he's 0 for 2. The stretch, the pitch, a fastball over the inside corner. Maybe in Scott's eyes, he swung early.
He was out in front of that one.
Yeah.
Well, he did hit it fair versus hurting some fans.
Burns 1 for 8 in the series. The 0-1 swung on line toward right center field. On the run as Kemp goes past him. It's in play. It's going to roll all the way to the wall. Fold is home. Behind him is Kazmir. He'll score. Streaking to third base, Billy Burns, and the A's are in front. They jump on Kazmir with 2 outs and lead it 3-2. Billy Burns with his 4th triple of the year, and RBIs 12 and 13.
Well, that's playing shallow by Kemp. Actually, all of the outfield as he went over maybe a bad angle to try to cut the ball off. But once it got past him, Scott Kazmir had a problem. because he had the speedy Billy Burns, who was running for an inside the park home run. Kazmir scoring from first, and fortunately, his ability to run the bases turned out to be good.
Now Sogard stands in. He takes a bell-tie fastball, strike one. So for Andrew Cashner, who had no hit the A's through 4, sees it unravel here in the 5th. The A's scoring 3 times. And the next delivery down low. 1 ball and 1 strike as he tried an off-speed pitch.
Scott Kazmir getting oxygen, so Eric Sogard doing a good job of taking some pitches, making sure he gets a strike.
1-1. Downstairs, ball 2. 2 balls and a strike, but the 2-out walk to the 8-batter Sam Fuld. Right. Then the single for Kazmir and the triple by Burns. The 2-1. Swung on line towards second and caught by Spangenberg. Perfectly placed. That pitch was tattooed by Sogard. It ends the inning, but not before the A's jump on the big right-hander Andrew Cashner. First it's Scott Kazmir, and then it's Billy Burns, and now you go to the bottom of the 5th inning. The A's in front, 3-2. And Kazmir wisely taking his time.
Number 34, Andrew Cashner.
A written rule, maybe a little bit of an unwritten rule.
Just a common sense rule.
Give him a little extra time, and that is the case here.
He's still trying to catch his breath. I mean, watching him on the mound, he's taking some deep breaths. I mean, and fortunately the ball got past Kemp, so he really didn't have to sprint. He ran hard, but that was not sprinting, trying to score on a base hit right to somebody. But the concern he had was Billy Burns passing off the baton, and was he going to be able to catch him? But Burns was at third. Kazmir was halfway to home. So he's going to be ready, but this is a crucial inning. Fortunately, it starts at least with Cashner, then back to the top of the batting order. But when you exert that much energy, and again, we were talking last night, what Mark Langston had told me, he said, as a pitcher, you worry about hitting, but even worse, getting on the bases and having to change your workout routine, because now you're running the bases as a sprint versus long distance to try to build up endurance.
Baseball, I mean, from a running standpoint, a movement standpoint, baseball's a stop-and-go game.
Yes, it is.
It's a quick movement game. Yeah. So we'll see how Kazmir hangs in there here.
And Cashner stands in. He struck out looking his only time up.
And he's angry.
Oakland leads it 3-2. And the lefty's first pitch swung on and missed. And Cashner looking to tie it up and help himself with that cut. And he came away empty with strike one.
And isn't it amazing, guys, how a pitcher getting a hit changes the whole dynamic of the game?
Here comes the 0-1. Breaking ball bunted. Past him out. Picked up by the third baseman. Muncy gloves on to Butler in time. And there's one out. And we'll pause 10 seconds. station identification on the A's radio network.
Melvin Upton Jr.
These guys have cleared here on this Tuesday afternoon from San Diego alongside Glenn Kuiper and Ray Fosse. Vince Cotroneo with you. Josh Fegley out to the mound to talk with Scott Kazmir, still giving him an extra moment or two and catching his breath as Justin Upton, or rather a Melvin Upton Jr. comes to the plate.
And Vinny, even on that play, it was a bunt by Kazmir towards third base, handled nicely by Muncy, but Kazmir had to exert a little bit extra energy himself going after the ball. Went behind the mound. Fegley went out to get him a little bit extra time as well. This could be, I mean, if he gets through this inning, who knows what he can do.
Changeup swung on and squirted up the first baseline, barehanded by Kazmir. Turns and throws it toward right field. Fortunately, backing up on the play is Zobrist. Upton gets only one base. He's aboard with one out as Alonso stands in.
Well, Kazmir again had to hurry, tried to throw around Upton, and that's why the home plate umpire, Trip Gibson, put out a safe sign, I would think indicating that there was no obstruction. Although he was running on the inside of the line, but I guess that's a moot point now because that was his normal tour heading to first base. But Kazmir looked at his hand. But anytime you try to throw around a runner, it's almost better to defer to the catcher, even though Upton runs well. Let Fegley go out and try to handle it.
Kazmir will be charged with an error, the A's 63rd error in their 67th game. So one out, one on, and here comes Alonso, left on left. Oakland 3 and San Diego 2. The stretch by Kazmir, the pitch, a fastball to the outside corner. Strike one called. Alonso singled up the middle back in the first, and then Justin Upton hit a long fly ball to deep center that was caught by a leaping Burns over the wall, and they doubled up Alonso, who went around second base on the fly ball, couldn't get back to first. Then a hot smash to first that was handled by Butler, and he was retired. Kazmir stretches, goes back over to first base. And Melvin Upton Jr. is back over safely. 0-1 the count on Alonso. Kazmir readies, back to first again. Take a look at the A's minor league report brought to you by Scharf Investments. Visit WeLikeValue.com and see how Scharf Investments can help you achieve value in your investment portfolio. And it begins with Ike Davis on the rehab. 3 games. He's gone 3 for 11 with a couple of RBIs at Nashville. Here's the 0-1. Instead, time called before Kazmir began his motion toward the plate. Trip Gibson, the plate umpire, stepped away and gave time to Alonso. And it is still 0-1. Ike Davis will play 9 innings as the DH today for the Sounds. And then likely will rejoin the A's tomorrow and at least join the team, and we'll see if there will be a corresponding move to put him on the active roster. One strike pitch. Instead of throw to first, the runner's going to throw to second. It is not in time. Upton still beats it as Kazmir points into the A's dugout and thinks that Billy Butler made a good throw, and the tag by Sogard should have been retiring Melvin Upton Jr. And Bob Melvin waiting to get the report from Adam Roden, and they're going to determine that he was in fact safe and beat the throw.
It's the best thing he could have done, and that is to continue to run. Got a huge lead, and he was sliding foot on the bag, a pop-up slide whenever Sogard got the ball, and don't want to waste a challenge there.
That's how big a jump it was.
Yeah.
Even as Kazmir read the base runner. 0-1 on Alonso. 3-2 A's, bottom of the 5th. They scored all 3 of their runs in the top of the inning. Kazmir looked back at second, and his 1 strike offer. A slider down and away. 1-1 the count. Elsewhere on the A's minor league report, Joey Wendell playing second base for the Sounds. 5 homers and 27 RBIs there. Batting .257. He was acquired during the offseason from the Indians for Brandon Moss. Part of your minor league report from Scharf Investments. Outfield the other way on Alonso. Keeps the bat on his back shoulder. And now Kazmir wants to meet with Fegley, make sure they're on the same page here in a critical moment in this game in the bottom of the 5th. Alonso now 28 years of age. Only 84 games last year, dealt with a right wrist issue. And earlier this year on the disabled list because of his right shoulder. 1-1 pitch grounded on the right side to his left. Zobrist has it in his mitt on to first as Upton advances from second to third base. So 2 outs now, and Justin Upton coming to the plate. A key moment for Scott Kazmir. This Upton, a fly ball to deep center, robbed of a home run. Would have been his 14th of the year back in the first. Then on a 1-2 pitch, single through the left side, and later scored on the bunt by Clint Varmus. 3 runs, 3 hits, 1 error for the A's, 2 runs, 5 hits, and no errors for San Diego. The windup by the lefty, the first pitch, backdoor breaking ball, and a good one, and taken for strike 1 by Justin Upton.
I don't think Upton's really concerned about falling behind on the count. He seems to be a very confident hitter, very powerful hitter. Stands on top of the plate, close to the plate.
Has a wide stance.
Look at BJ down the line, or Melvin down the line.
Here's the 0-1. Off speed in the dirt. Good block by Fegley. Both of them are down the line. Upton's everywhere you look. Outfield very deep here. Justin over from the Atlanta Braves. Originally started his career with Bob Melvin and the Diamondbacks. Third baseman Muncy deep and off the line at third. And the runner's coming home. The throw to Fegley, and they're going to rule a balk on Kazmir, and in to score is Upton. It's a 3-3 tie.
Wow.
So Melvin Upton Jr. literally steals a run. As Kazmir started his motion. He was engaged on the mound and then stepped off and tried to fire home and immediately called a balk by Trip Gibson.
Why would he be out of the windup in the first place?
Yeah, he didn't need to do that. He could have just continued his pitch home, and I think they would have had him out.
Well, yeah, Upton at the plate's not going to swing.
1-1 offer. Swung on tap right back to the mound. Kazmir has it. He'll step and throw, and the inning is over. But an unearned run charged to the A's yet again. Their 34th of the year, and it's all on Kazmir. With the E1, the stolen base, the balk, and we go to the top of the 6th inning. Melvin Upton Jr. impacting the game, tying it at 3. Josh Reddick stands in, starts the 6th inning. We're tied at 3. He takes outside ball 1. Josh 0 for 2. Ground ball to second, a fly ball to center. And the 1-0 line back up the middle, a base hit for Reddick. Continues to spray it all over the field. Part of the reason why he's in the top 10 still in hitting. And he singles to start the 6th inning, and that'll bring Ben Zobrist to the plate as the A's try to answer back after that frustrating bottom of the 5th when Melvin Upton Jr. reached on the throwing error by Kazmir, allowed the stolen base, and then the balk got Upton home to tie the game for San Diego. Zobrist is 0 for 2. Nice play by Spangenberg on him in the 2nd. Then hit another one to the second baseman, and he was retired. A bell-tie fastball in there on Zobrist, and it's 0-1.
Benny, how many pitches can you think of that whenever there's a runner at third that they pitch out of the window? I mean, it's very rare.
0-1 the count. Middlebrooks closing in at third. A swing and a long fly ball down the line and right. Zobrist makes a bid, and he just hit it out at Petco. Just like that, the A's jump back in front. Zobrist with his 3rd home run of the year. He scores Reddick, and the A's now lead it 5-3.
And congratulations to Vince Cotroneo. Just one batter late, as he said between innings. When Josh Reddick hits a home run, everybody will forget about what Scott Kazmir did. So he gets the base hit. And Vinny, nice call, just a batter late, but still a left-handed hitter. And Ben Zobrist, a big one.
The 13th home run allowed by Cashner. You wonder why somebody with this stuff is having difficulty winning. Keeping the ball in the ballpark is part of it. Butler stands in. He takes low and outside, ball 1.
We're talking about giving up the hit to the pitcher. That's a lot of abuse for a pitcher who gives up a hit to another pitcher, whether it's in the National League where they do hit or in the American League where they don't.
1-0 delivery outside and low. 2 balls and no strikes, and for whatever reason, and we don't know how this game will turn out, but there are pitchers that have great stuff that just don't necessarily win, and you wonder why. The 2-0 is low, 3 balls and no strikes. Cashner, for all the ability he has in his career as play began today, was 12 games under 500. 3-0 is low, not even close, and Butler draws the walk, and that's 3 A's reaching base consecutively here in the inning. And the bullpen will swing into action for San Diego.
Vinny, there are a lot of current pitchers, but just thinking about Greg Maddux, who went to the Hall of Fame last year in the dugout with the Rangers, it's like it's going to be Pat Murphy going out maybe to make a change. But it's all about control, not velocity. If you can't throw a fastball for a strike in the right location, you could throw it 100 miles an hour, and you may still give up home runs, as he's done, and hard hit balls because guys look fastball.
And Cashner will have to give up the baseball. The first pitching change for Pat Murphy in the big leagues, and the veteran right-hander Dale Thayer comes on in relief. So Cashner had an early lead, then watched his team give it up. They tied it back up for him, and he gave it right back again. And he's done after 5 innings and 3 batters. So Dale Thayer comes on in relief. Pitching change at Petco. A's lead at 5-3, and we're back after this. Out of Chico State comes on in relief for the Padres. They trail 5-3. Nobody out here in the 6th inning, and Max Muncy up there against the righty, whose first pitch is swung on and belted to right. Back is Kemp toward the track, backpedaling and reaching up just in front of the wall to make the catch. Muncy, who hit one over his head his last time up, unable to do so here. Butler retraces his steps back to first, and there's one out now for Fegley. Muncy hit that ball well. Cashner, 5 innings plus 3 batters, 5 hits, 5 runs, walked 3 and struck out 3. Fegley's 0 for 2. And the righty's pitch, outside corner, a strike. Thayer, originally a non-drafted free agent, signed by San Diego back in 2002, but got to the big leagues with Tampa Bay in 2009, then the Mets for a year. But his last 3 seasons have been here in San Diego. Works off the third base side of the hill. Oakland trying to win their 3rd consecutive game on the road. Next pitch to Josh is outside. 1 ball and 1 strike. It would give them a winning road trip at 3-2. Give them their 28th win of the year. And they'll play the Padres the next 2 days at the Coliseum.
Fernando Rodriguez loosening up in the A's bullpen.
Next pitch swung on, bounced to third, backing up on it is Middle. Brooks goes to second for 1. Spangenberg's relay to first is in time. They double up Fegley, and the A's are done in the 6th inning. But Oakland back in front. Zorilla, Ben Zobrist goes deep for the 3rd time this year on the bottom of the 6th inning. 5-3 Oakland. Gone to the bullpen and brings on the hard-throwing right-hander Fernando Rodriguez after Scott Kazmir goes 5 innings. Allows 3 runs, 2 earned on 5 hits. 1 walk and 6 strikeouts, and it's a National League Park. An American League pitcher who got an RBI single and had a score from first base. And you wonder if those are all factors, and maybe Scott seeing the tank empty a little sooner than usual for him, considering he went 8 innings in his last outing.
And the fact that there was a bunt by Cashner, he had to run hard, and then the bunt, or the ball off the end of the bat by Melvin Upton, and ended up, and they're showing 81 pitches on the board, which I would say exactly what you said is the reason he's not in the game, but it does put a heavy burden on the bullpen to try to get 12 outs with a 2-run lead, and see how Bob Melvin and Kurt Young handle this as with the options, and it'll be the second batter for MB Rodriguez, then the second spot coming up in the 7th.
Kemp, Middlebrooks, and Barmes against Fernando, making his 17th appearance, 0-1, a 5.02 ERA. Worked in the finale on Sunday, one batter, and that was in the 8th inning in Anaheim. First pitch over the inside corner on Kemp for strike one. He's lined to short and struck out swinging. So the A's on a Ben Zobrist home run, leading 5-3. Full deep and left. Here's the 0-1. Fastball swung on and hit on the ground just past the A's dugout, and it is 0-2. Take a look at the out-of-town scoreboard, brought to you by the beautiful Waterfront Hotel in Oakland's Jack London Square. A couple of home runs for Luis Valbuena, and the Astros leading Colorado 8-5. Valbuena with 16 home runs. 0-2, breaking ball outside. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Minnesota and St. Louis top of the 8th, and the Cardinals lead that game 3-2. Atlanta and Boston are 2-2 at the end of 5. The Red Sox have dropped 7 games in a row. San Francisco leading Seattle 3-2. That game is in the 5th. Brad Miller, Matt Duffy with home runs in San Francisco. 1-2 pitch, strike 3, caught on the outside corner. A good breaking ball from Fernando Rodriguez freezes Matt Kemp, and you hear a smattering of boos for Kemp as he fails to deliver, and he is 0 for 6 in the series.
A couple of good fastballs, a curveball in the dirt, came back with another curveball perfectly thrown by Rodriguez. And then one of the things that Fernando has learned as a reliever, you pitch your normal game regardless of the situation you're in, regardless of the score, because relievers don't get that many innings.
Now Middlebrook stands in, swings, and grounds one to the left of the shortstop. Sogard picks it clean, sends it over to Butler, and quickly 2 outs.
And speaking of Matt Kemp, you guys, it's not good when you have 4 years left on a huge contract, and 2.5 months into your first season with the team, you're hearing boos. That's not good.
Well, there's a lot of expectations here in San Diego this year. A lot of change, and a forced change at the manager's position. And it has been a bit of a whirlwind around here in San Diego. Haven't been to the playoffs since 2006. First pitch to Barmes, and it misses outside of the fastball. 1-0. Visit www.waterfronthoteloakland.com and enter the promo code baseball, and you'll save on your next stay. Everything else in the majors will be under the lights. 1-0 pitch, swung on, fouled over the screen behind the plate. And it's 1-1 on Barmes, who bunted in a run. Nicely done. His last time up in the 4th inning. His first appearance in this 4-game series, 2 in San Diego, and then the next 2 will be up at the Coliseum.
And Vinny, those night games that you mentioned, remember these are all 2-game series. So all the night games, that means going to be some late arrivals by the teams going to the next city.
1-1 curve, and it's over for a strike. It's 1-2.
I know, talking to some of the Angels personnel, that they weren't too happy to know that they were going to play a night game tonight. They go to Arizona, and while it's just an hour and a half flight, still, by the time you get out and get to bed, it's going to be wee hours in the morning.
1-2 pitch, fastball upstairs, ball 2.
So I say that because it's congratulations to the Padres and the A's that they're playing a day game today, so they can fly out of that airport. It's about 20 minutes away.
Instead of driving all the way up to somewhere in L.A., get on the airplane there because of the restrictions here in San Diego. 2-2 swing and a miss, a curve in the dirt, blocked by Fegley. Gloves, steps and clears, throws the first. A 1-2-3, bottom of the 6th inning for Fernando Rodriguez. A shutdown frame for the A's bullpen out of the 7th. Oakland leading San Diego 5-3. And here's Glenn.
So Sam Fuld will lead it off against the reliever Dale Thayer. Thayer got the final 3 outs in the 6th inning. First pitch to Fuld is a fastball called a strike. Marcus Semien has come out into the on-deck circle. That's the pitcher spot. So Semien looks like he's going to hit for Rodriguez.
Drew Pomeranz is loosening up.
Sam Fuld, a strikeout, a walk, and a run scored, and he drives this one to left center. It's hit pretty well. It'll be the center fielder, Melvin Upton, who gets over there, and he makes the catch. So a well-struck ball by Fuld, but into the glove of Melvin Upton, the center fielder, for out number 1.
So 4 pitches, 4 innings for the Athletics. They're hopeful of Clipper in the 9th inning, 3 before him. Bob Melvin didn't do a double switch. Figured it was going to be a 1-inning appearance by Fernando, which he did a great job.
So here's Semien as a pinch hitter. He's 1 for 2 as a pinch hitter this year. First pitch is in for a strike. So Rodriguez, an inning with a couple of strikeouts. He's with 5 hits in the game. Slider is low to Semien, 1-1 the count. Marcus hitting .268, 6 home runs, 16 RBIs. One for 3 last night, a couple of walks. Fastball outside, 2-1, 92 miles an hour. So a game of bullpens now between the A's and the Padres. Fouled high in the air at right field. A's 5, Padres 3, top of the 7th.
And as we have talked in the past about how difficult it is for hitters when they're seeing different pitchers. And Kazmir, the A's starter, goes 5. Of course, same for Cashner, 5+. But then all of a sudden you could be seeing 7, 8 different relievers coming out of the pit.
Fouled straight back. Kind of a hanger there from Thayer to Semien. So the count stays 2-2.
So if you're going to keep a hit streak alive, keep it. Have it happen in the first 5 innings sometimes, because that may be the only pitcher you see more than one time.
Thayer, long look in. He gets the sign. He is ready. So is Semien. And the 2-2 pitch is hit high in the air, right center. Kemp a long run, Upton a long run, and nobody's going to get it. It drops into the gap at the base of the wall. Semien to second with a 1-out double. So a pinch hit double for Marcus Semien. His 11th double of the year.
I hate to say this, but is Matt Kemp, did he not get a good jump on that ball? The way it was slicing back, I thought that he had a chance with the ball coming back towards him, and all of a sudden he just ran out of room and maybe ran out of gas, just could not get to the ball. It was very surprising as long as the ball was up in the air and the area in which it was hit and the way it was hit.
Off the crack of the bat, I thought it was going to be caught as well.
Too.
Here's Burns, who takes a fastball up and away. So the A's a chance to extend their lead with Semien's 1-out double.
As it turned out, Upton in center field was the one that looked like he had a better chance, but he couldn't run fast enough to get to the ball.
This one's fouled straight back on a fastball. 1-1 the count. Well, I mean, you hate to harp on Matt Kemp, but the Padres have to be concerned, because what we've seen, it's only 2 games, but he has not looked good.
Well, exactly, and then moving in the outfield is almost a slow motion, and swinging the bat has not done very well.
1-1 pitch is a bit inside with a fastball. Thayer thought maybe it caught the inside corner, but Trip Gibson, the home plate umpire, said it did not. 2-1 to Burns, who has lined out, grounded out, and then a 2-run triple in the 5th inning. He hit it to right center field. 2-1 pitch is in the dirt, blocked by Hedges. So now 3-1 with Sogard waiting in the on-deck circle.
I think they can live a little bit with Kemp's defense if his on-base percentage wasn't 288. It wasn't the threat that people had expected him to be.
So Thayer from the stretch, a check and the pitch, check swing, line straight back. So 3-2 is the count. Burns was 1 for 6 in last night's game. So 2 for 9 in the series. Trying to get Semien home for an insurance run. A's leading 5-3. The pitch is inside, and Burns takes the walk. So Cashner walked 3. That's Thayer's first walk. And here's Sogard. Interesting, too, that the Padres only have one left-handed reliever in their bullpen. It's Frank Garces. And I think if you had 2 left-handed relievers, this would be a spot where you'd probably bring one of them in, because you have Sogard and then Reddick. First pitch to Sogard is at the knees for a strike.
It might have been thinking, or should have been thinking, about bringing the lefty in now anyway, because you're already down by 2 and a chance for the A's to add on. And Sogard swung the bat well and has throughout the day, and hit a ball hard in his last at bat to the second baseman. That ball, same ball, might find its way into the outfield now, because they are playing close to second for 2.
0-1 pitch to Sogard. Bounce slowly towards second. Spangenberg shuffles to second. They get the out there, and that's the only out. Ball just was not hit hard enough. So Sogard reaches on a fielder's choice. Burns is out, and the runners are now at first and third with 2 outs.
Reddick started it with this base hit towards left center in his last at bat, and again, a great approach by the A's right fielder. So much fun to see his approach and staying healthy, being healthy, and still have to go back to the opener where he was on his rehab instead of making the opener. Since he has come back healthy, he has had a fantastic season.
First pitch to Reddick is a fastball on the inside corner for a strike. Well, of all the statistics that Reddick has this year, and his numbers are good, the 2 numbers that stand out the most: 23 strikeouts, 24 walks.
That's right.
And that's in 221 at bats. Runner goes, and the pitch is hit in the air toward Kemp and right. Now Kemp comes in a couple steps. He's got it side retired. So the A's strand a pair. 7th inning stretch time from Petco. A's 5, Padres 3. California. Lots of sunshine since about the first or second inning. And the A's leading 5-3, trying to win for the second game in a row here at Petco Park. Drew Pomeranz comes in out of the A's bullpen. Pomeranz pitched in last night's game, but he faced just one hitter, Will Venable. He retired him. And it looks like, at least lately, Drew Pomeranz getting more important assignments out of the bullpen.
Well, as Bob Melvin said, he wanted him in the bullpen because he can air it out. And the one thing that Drew has said already when he's coming out of the bullpen, he says, I don't have anything to save. I can just let it go. Well, that's exactly what the A's had hoped. Throw his 94 to 95 mile an hour fastball with big knuckle curve. Stephen Vogt did a great job last night blocking some of those knuckle curves.
So Pomeranz will face Corey Spangenberg, and then Austin Hedges, and then the pitcher spot. So Pomeranz, first pitch of the bottom of the 7th inning is a fastball that's high. A's leading 5-3. It was 3-3, and Ben Zobrist with a 2-run homer in the top of the 6th inning to give the A's the lead back. Spangenberg has grounded out and struck out so far in today's game. And he swings at a high fastball and misses. 1-1 the count. 93 miles an hour from Drew Pomeranz, the big, tall left-hander. A's with 3 lefties in their bullpen: Abad, Pomeranz, and O'Flaherty. All 3 of them pitched last night. 1-1 pitch is right there. Another fastball. Spangenberg took it and was right down the heart of the plate. So 1-2 the count.
Games like this, it becomes a game of matchups. The A's pitchers out of the pen, of course, against the hitters. The Padres in bottom 3rd of the order, and Pomeranz at least starts the inning.
Ahead in the count, 1-2, and it's right there. Strike 3 call. So Spangenberg had a couple of fastballs. He looked at them both, and he strikes out looking, and that's 9 strikeouts now for A's pitchers in the ball game.
Kipe right over the top with 94, as if to say it's just like a rare back, throw it hard, try to hit it if you can. And surprisingly, the lefty, and maybe just fooled by the way Pomeranz was pitching, but those are very good fastballs.
So 1 away, and here's Hedges, or the right-handed hitter. Hedges, his first major league home run earlier today, and he takes a curveball, that knuckle curve from Pomeranz, and it drops in there for a strike. His home run in the 3rd, and then he struck out swinging in the 4th. Austin Hedges, right-handed hitter. Another breaking ball. This one is low. 1-1 the count. So Kazmir went 5 innings. Fernando Rodriguez 1 inning, and now Pomeranz trying to get through the 7th. Fegley sets up inside, and the pitch is rolled foul down the 3rd baseline. Glenn Hoffman scoops it up, flips it into the seats.
Okay, what you just said right there. Fegley sets up inside. He could be a little bit quieter because he has a tendency to kind of move inside in advance of the pitch. And you know, it's something a young catcher, he wants to give a good target, but sometimes when you're calling a pitch inside, you have to be a little bit slower.
This one hit hard to 3rd. Muncy handles a tough hop and guns it over, and that's a 5-3 putout. And Max Muncy with a nice play. And what was a hard hit ball by Austin Hedges. So what you're saying, Ray, is maybe ease over a little bit if you're the catcher.
Yeah, ease over, or if you know you're calling a pitch in, you can almost set up on the inside part of the plate, so you hardly have to move at all. But if you set up in the middle of the plate, give a sign, then to move outside or inside, you have to get there at some time, and the quieter the better. So like you said, ease to where maybe a hitter, on-deck hitter, you don't see it as much anymore, but at one time you did that, the hitter knows exactly where you're pitching.
Here's Yangervis Solarte pinch hitting. This is the pitcher spot, and he takes a curveball in for a strike. Pomeranz sharp so far. So Solarte, the switch hitter. Fastball away. The count even at 1-1.
I wonder if Pat Murphy, the interim manager for the Padres, a former college coach, manager minor leagues, I wonder if he thinks he should be coaching third base.
That's true. That's what the college coaches do. They do that at AAA too sometimes.
Minor league managers do that.
Bounced over the mound, off the glove of Pomeranz. It goes toward the second baseman Zobrist, who throws to first, and they got him.
How about that?
Pomeranz just kind of swung his glove up in the air, and he got leather on the ball, and that allowed the second baseman Zobrist to come in and make a nice play. So a little luck, but a nice play by Pomeranz, and 0-0 for the Padres in the bottom of the 7th. 8th coming up. Vinny's coming up as well. 5-3.
Fried chicken or barbecue chicken?
Vince Cotroneo.
Ben Zobrist will stand in. He's been involved in a lot of positive things today for the A's. A 2-run homer. Nice defense at second base. Facing the former Mariner Brandon Maurer. The right-hander's pitch is right through the heart. Good fastball for strike one. Maurer is 4-0 as a reliever. His 31st appearance, a 1.69 ERA. 0-1 pitch is outside. 1 ball and 1 strike. He's from the Anaheim area. Went to high school with Garrett Cole, who leads the majors in victories with 10 for the Pirates. A swing by Zobrist hits it off the end of the bat and over the A's dugout. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Maurer was drafted out of high school, had mononucleosis his senior year, but most of the scouts came to watch Cole, and they occasionally saw a little bit of Maurer, and that's how he got selected. 1-2 offer, bounced up there, and made the jump from Double-A to the big leagues a few years back for Seattle, and had some moments but not enough consistency. But finding a home now in the bullpen with the San Diego Padres. And an ERA at 6 in 2013. A soft pop behind second base, and Barmes will backpedal and make the catch, and there's 1 out. And that'll bring Billy Butler to the plate.
Benny, look back to last night with Ben Zobrist, a 1-for-1 game with 4 walks. And sometimes, as even Ben has said, sometimes you need to take your walks. That means you're seeing a lot of pitches. You're seeing the pitches well. Did it last night, and today he hit the home run pretty much the same spot he hit at Comerica Park with a grand slam.
Butler stands in. He's got a couple of walks today. Fouls back the first pitch.
So I forgot they're working fast. But at the same location, right field, Ben Zobrist, a big grand slam and a 2-run shot here. Both very important home runs for the A's.
Here's the 0-1. Swung on ground sharply to deep short. Diving to his right is Barmes. Can't get to that one, and Butler is aboard with a 1-out single with a base hit to left field. So 1 out and 1 on for Max Muncy. The A's have Evan Scribner loosening in their bullpen. Andy Perino is going to come off the bench, and he will pinch run for Butler. So Muncy will go from third base to first base, and Perino will play third for the Athletics. And Butler is done.
You're good, Skip. I was thinking of Ben Zobrist, his first home run, first at bat as a member of the Athletics, 2-run shot opening night. Then the grand slam and the 2-run shot here. So he's been very productive with the long ball, even though he's hit just 3.
Muncy Takes outside and low, ball one. A fastball at 95 from Mauer. He was acquired this offseason in a deal for Seth Smith, who left the Padres and went to the Mariners. Muncy doubled and scored back in the 5th. And the offer, a changeup in for a strike, evens the count. When he doubled, he hit it over the head of Matt Kemp. And we talked last night about when Kemp was acquired by San Diego from the Dodgers, there was a little bit of time holding up the deal aside from the money, and that was the physical. 1-1 pitch, a swing and a miss as he cut over a breaking ball. 1 ball and 2 strikes. They discovered in the physical that Matt Kemp has arthritic hips and consequently not moving that well. But again, with that condition, he hit 25 home runs last year for the Dodgers. He's only hit 2 so far this year. 1-2 pitch, swung on, tapped, passed him out. Charging in is the second baseman, Spangenberg. He gloves, throws the first, his only play, as Perino advances the second. With the A's leading 5-3, looking for some insurance, here comes Josh Phegley. Play went 4-3, retiring Muncy. Phegley is 0 for 3. Hit into a double play his last time up. Mauer, the 3rd pitcher today for San Diego. Andrew Cashner went 5+ in the 6th inning, allowed 5 runs. 2 innings of relief for Dale Thayer, now Mauer. Phegley now stands in. Chavez and Despaigne tomorrow with the A's and the Padres from the Coliseum at 7:05. First pitch slider swung on and missed by Phegley. Strike 1.
Does Despaigne have a first name?
He does.
Can you pronounce it for us?
I can.
Got a boy.
Audrey Sommer. Audrey Sommer Despaigne. Just rolls right off your tongue, Ray.
Yes, it does, Vinny.
It's like a spelling bee.
Just think of his name as Odorizzi. Last name.
It's Odorizzi.
Oh, it's close.
Evan Scribner will be the A's new pitcher in the bottom of the 8th inning. Here's the 0-1, popped up behind the plate, and that's back in the seats. If Phegley keeps it going, Sam Fuld will be next. Fuld, a key moment for the A's in the 5th inning, a 2-out walk with the pitcher due behind him. And Scott Kazmir singled, brought in a run, the A's first hit by a pitcher since 2013. And then Burns behind him tripled to right center, and that's how the A's got the lead. Breaking ball in the dirt and shifting to his right is Hedges. Makes it 1 ball and 2 strikes. Back came the Padres, scoring on a balk by Kazmir with Melvin Upton Jr. at third base. They tied the game. Ben Zobrist in the 6th responded with a home run down the right field line after a leadoff base hit by Josh Reddick. Here's the 1-2. Swing and a miss. Cut over another slider. The A's are done in the 8th. On to the bottom of the 8th. Evan Scribner coming on for the Athletics, protecting an Oakland 5-3 lead. the A's and not Evan Scribner. And it'll be against the top of the order. Melvin Upton Jr., Yonder Alonso, a left-hand batter, and then Justin Upton facing Pomerantz. And here we are in a situation for the A's where before, for a long period of time, it was automatic that Scribner was getting the 8th inning as the setup man for Tyler Clippard in the 9th. Bob Melvin today adjusting that, at least for the moment, protecting a 2-run advantage.
Left-handed on-deck circle, righties after Alonso, so maybe it's hope to get Upton and then face the lefty.
First pitch from Pomerantz is high, ball 1. This Upton has struck out and walked, reached on the E1, stole a base, and then was balked home. Drew out of the stretch to the belt, the leg kick, and the 1-0. Fastball grounded foul outside of third base. 1-1 the count. I know they always say, Ray, that as a player, block out the things you can't control. That said, there's been so much happening with this Padre team the last couple of days. You just wonder how they're going to handle it moving forward. Alonso waiting on deck. As we mentioned, Andy Perino stays in the game at third base. Max Muncy over at first. A swing and a line drive, base hit for Melvin Upton Jr. He starts the bottom of the 8th inning against Pomerantz. And the leadoff man is on, and here comes Alonso.
Got a chance to speed up his bat with an off-speed pitch, and that's something. And watching him swing, last at bat, a changeup on 3-2. Actually, the ball off the end of the bat. The previous at bat was a changeup 3-2. But I don't know that Melvin Upton's catching up to a fastball yet. He's getting a steady diet of off-speed pitches. And that one, he hammered it in left field.
Key moment here now for the Padres. They're down by 2, bottom of the 8th. Alonso has singled, grounded to first, and grounded to second. Pomerantz a look at first base. The slide step and a fastball is over but low, ball 1.
And I would think Scribner is getting loose and ready to come in for the next batter, Upton. And then the next batter, Kemp. And all these right-handers backed up the back.
Alonso 1 for 7 in the series. Drew checks at first base, and he'll go in that direction with a calling card. Trying to keep Upton close. This Padre team under Bud Black did like to run, 45 steals and good at it. Only caught 10 times. And Melvin Upton Jr. does have a steal today, which led to a run. And he broke on a move by the left-hander Kazmir in the 5th inning. So not afraid to gamble. Now Pomerantz will step off and bluff to first base.
That's not good. You don't want to pay so much attention. This is not a tying run at first or a go-ahead run. They're down 2. If you can distract Pomerantz enough, Alonso might get a pretty good pitch to hit.
Here's the 1-0. Slide step and a swing and a line drive. Base hit into center. Eludes Zobrist around second. Streaking to third is Upton. Runners at the corners. Nobody out. And now Justin Upton is due. And Scribner is ready in the bullpen. Coming into the inning between Kazmir, Rodriguez, and Pomerantz, the A's had retired 8 in a row. And now Bob Melvin will point to the bullpen, and he'll ask for Scribner in a tough spot. Nobody out. Runners at first and third. The A's bullpen, which has been the Achilles heel for this club all season, needs to rise up in the bottom of the 8th. Scribner against Justin Upton when we come back to Petco Park after this pitching change timeout. San Diego. They trail the Athletics 5-3. Evan Scribner appearing for the 32nd time. 1-1 at 3.21 ERA. He surrendered home runs in his last outing for the A's in Anaheim against the Angels. Mike Trout and Cole Calhoun charged with a blown save, and the loss 5-4. His last time on the hill. He has given up 5 home runs this year.
As much as the cut fastball has been a great addition to his arsenal, it got him in trouble in his last start, especially to Mike Trout, who hit it to straightaway center. He's got an excellent fastball, and the cutter is almost needs to be a chase pitch or a pitch when you're behind in the count. And you make a mistake with it, it really reduces the velocity. And in the case of Mike Trout, he didn't miss it.
Scribner does have 37 strikeouts in under 34 innings. Alonso at first, Melvin Upton Jr. at third, and Justin Upton, who leads the team in home runs and RBIs, at the plate. The stretch, the righty's pitch. Fastball broken back, bouncing to third. Picked up by Perino, goes to second for one. Zoba's the first in time. The run scores, but the A's get 2 outs, and it's a 5-4 game. Justin Upton breaks his bat as he hits a bounding ball to Andy Perino at third, and a nice job by Andy navigating around the piece of lumber and throwing to second base to start that around the horn to win killing.
Boy, and that's why Upton stopped at third, because he didn't want to run into an out. But in that situation, you are looking for outs. Ball hit hard enough to get to. The A's were able to do that. If it's hit softly, then you go to the plate and get the lead runner. They got 2 big outs.
Now here's Matt Kemp. A's in front 5-4 now. 2 outs, bases empty. Kemp is 0 for 6 in the series. He swings and drives one to left. Back is full to the track, and a tie game. Matt Kemp rises to the occasion for San Diego. His 3rd home run of the year. A blown save for the 2nd time on the trip for Evan Scribner. The home run bites him again, and this game starts all over, tied at 5.
Well, unfortunately, that fastball ran up and in to Kemp, and he just got into it. Man, he's so close with a great pitch, getting 2 out, a great double play, and then within 1 pitch, a blown save. That is tough for Evan Scribner.
It's been a far too familiar story for the Athletics. 5-5 game, and Middlebrook stands in. He swings and misses at the first pitch. It's 0-1. So the A's are now 10 for 21 in save opportunities, and their bullpen has been charged with 15 losses already this year. Breaking ball strike to Middlebrooks, and it's 0-2. All that work, and a right-hander loosening of the bullpen, and it is Craig Kimbrell for San Diego, swinging a liner to left. Fold has to lay back and take it on a bounce. A's bullpen has not been a mystery in this inning. 5 batters up and 4 reaching base with hits. And now here's Clint Barmas, and Kurt Young has to go out to the mound and try to slow things down. And it came out of nowhere. I mean, 8 consecutive outs coming into the inning. No decision for Kazmir. Cashner is off the hook. And now it's a battle of the bullpens moving forward on this Tuesday afternoon. Barmas is 1 for 3 with an RBI bunt single back in the 4th inning. You just knew that Bob Melvin was unsure about the 8th inning based on what he has seen recently from Scribner in Fenway Park and earlier on this road trip in Anaheim, and try to get an out or 2 or more stretching Drew Pomerantz. That didn't work. Got the A's behind the 8 ball, and lo and behold, here we are tied at 5. First pitch is a curve, and to Barmas it's low and outside, ball 1.
I think too, Vinny, the problem is he's been unsure about the 8th inning for quite a while now. And if you're sure about it, then the guy you're sure about starts the 8th inning.
Outfield deep, turning a throw back to first to keep Middlebrooks close. He has a couple of steals this year. The A's with an unearned run today and a blown save by the bullpen, and in another close game, and right now it's tied at 5. Swing and a miss. Scribner delivers the cutter down and away. 1 ball and 1 strike. Those are all things that have put the A's where they are at 27 and 39. 34 unearned runs. Bullpen will be in charge one way or the other now going forward in this game. 1-1 pitch outside. 2 balls and a strike. While the A's won back-to-back games coming into this concluding game, they did so winning 8-1 and 9-1. It's the close games that have been the issue for Oakland, which is why their run differential is still on the plus side. The runner goes. The pitch is low. The throw to second by Fegley is in time. The tag applied by Zobrist, getting Middlebrooks on the head for a slide, and we'll see if Pat Murphy is going to ask for instant replay. He steps out of the dugout, and we will have to wait. Now Murphy stands back in his dugout, and there will be no replay. So on to the top of the 9th inning, and we start all over. A's 5 and the Padres 5. And Kimbrel will be making appearance number 28. He's 1-1, a 3.60 ERA, getting Fold, then a pinch hitter, and Billy Burns. 5-5 through 8. The A's have a home run from Ben Zobrist, Austin Hedges, and Matt Kemp have gone deep for San Diego. We'll pause 10 seconds. Station identification on the A's radio network.
Your home for
side, Glenn Kuiper and Ray Fosse. Vince Cotroneo with you. A's 5 and Padres 5. As always, Kimbrel looks in with the shoulders spread, gets the sign and delivers out of the stretch and offers low at 96, ball 1. It was always great. We saw it last year when the A's played in Atlanta, how he entered the ball game. Their big video board full of fire, and the whole stadium on the ribbon boards the same way as Kimbrel came into games for Atlanta. Fastball taken by Fold for a strike. It's 1-1. Fold is 0 for 2 with a walk and a run scored as Tyler Clippard loosens in the A's bullpen. To set the pitch, it is outside.
And I just wonder with Kimbrel, the way he sets up that wide shoulder and bent over with the arm kind of up Wonder what happens if Encarnacion with Blue Jays ever hits a home run off of him when he goes around with the arm up, holding the parrot.
My mistake. It's not Clipper, but it's Arnold Leon loosening in the bullpen for the Oakland Athletics. Here's the 2-1. Fastball just off the plate, low and outside at 98. And the count in Sam's favor at 3-1.
They just find a way to score a run or get somebody in score position. Clipper will be up and getting ready quicker.
Mark Canna in the on-deck circle. Here comes the 3-1. Fastball in at the knees, taken all the way by Fold. He's seen the count go full at 3-2.
That was a good take. That's a smart at bat by Sam Fold, and regardless of what he does, he's going to force Kimbrough to throw at least a couple of strikes, especially one on 3-1.
Outfield swung around the other way. Left-hand batter against the right-hand pitcher. The 3-2. It is low, ball 4. So Fold, who can run, is aboard at first base with nobody out.
And being called back is Canna, and it's got to be Is it Stephen Vogt?
It is Stephen Vogt.
Yeah. So the left-hander, and I mean, obviously the A's are not looking for a sacrifice here with Stephen Vogt, but also maybe looking for that hole between first and second. And the A's hottest hitter, especially coming off last night when he hit a grand slam, had 3 hits of the night.
And Sam Fold, by the way, is 5 for 6 in stolen bases.
I mean, typically closers do not have good moves, and say it often. And you see with Kimbrough, and usually closers could care less about base runners because they figure they don't put many on anyway.
Striking out 4 steals this year against Kimbrough. So here's Vogt. The grand slam last night for the A's is a 12 home run. Now 45 RBIs, batting .281. Stevens snapped an 0 for 15 last night with his first of 3 hits and 5 RBIs in the victory against San Diego. First pitch, breaking ball, not close, off the plate outside and high, ball 1.
And one thing Darren Bush, the A's hitting coach, did talk about was the breaking pitch of Kimbrough. Of course, known for his 95-plus fastball. You said he hit 98, but he also had a good curveball, good breaking pitch to change it up a little bit, especially after fastballs that missed a Sam Fold.
A turn and a throw back to first. Sam dives back with the right hand. Kimbrough works off the third base side of the rubber. And that lead leg, his front leg, is a little further toward the A's third base dugout. Tries to hide the ball a little bit longer. The high set, the pitch. Tries the breaking ball. That one nudges the outside corner. And that evens the count at 1 ball and 1 strike on Vogt. Billy Burns waiting on deck. Third baseman Middlebrooks in the hole between third and short. And Barmes, the shortstop, shading up the middle. Outfield deep, swung around the other way on Vogt. 1-1 the count. And the righty fires and stays with the curve and catches the outside corner yet again. Vogt not sure as he asks Trip Gibson. He's behind 1 ball and 2 strikes.
Well, that ball was about 10 to 12 inches outside, and it was called a strike.
Yeah, it definitely came around the plate big time.
3 home runs allowed this year by Kimbrough. 1-2 the count. And the pitch swung on and missed. Fastball away. 98. And Vogt is retired. So the A's played that card. And Vogt unable to put the ball in play and advance a base runner. Now here's Billy Burns. He tripled back in the 5th. He's 1 for 3 with a walk.
And I would think that Stephen Vogt did not expect to go to the plate and see 3 or 4 pitches, all breaking pitches. That's after walking Sam Fold with fastball. Stayed with him, the heater, but
now Burns, switch hitter batting left. The runner goes. The pitch is a strike. The throw to second is high. The tag applied, and Burns is called out by the second base umpire, Adam Hammery.
Well, Fold is coming out, and he's going to stay at second as Bob Miller's going to check with Adam Roden and see if there's going to be some sort of a challenge.
I think Fold was a bit surprised he was rung up at second base. Melvin is going to ask for the appeal. The throw was...
he's safe.
It's not that close.
Yeah, the throw was on the shortstop side of the bag, so backhanded by the second baseman Spangenberg, that by the time he brought it back, Sam clearly got the left hand on the bag, even though Spangenberg tried to block him off with his leg. And this should get overturned in favor of the Athletics.
Well, I'm going to write it in, but I wrote it in last night on a hit by pitch.
Well, they're showing it on the Jumbotron here, and these fans go, ooh, because they could see Sam Folds' hand getting in before the tag was applied. And the key there, now they're showing a different angle, but the fact that the throw was to the shortstop side and he had to bring it back. And all the while, the head first slide enabled Sam Folds to get his hand in what looked like to be before the tag on the backside.
One replay showed a closer play and showed that left leg may have deterred Sam from getting his left hand on the bag, and that's something that only New York can decide now as the umpires. Brian Gorman, the crew chief, and Adam Hammery, the second base umpire, are now listening to New York and awaiting the decision on replay. And quite frankly, if Sam got the hand in, he got the fingertips under the leg, and may not be all that conclusive, which means it'll stay, the call stands on the field. Have to wait and see.
You know, I think the center field shot that they had earlier was one that showed that, like you said, the knee is there, but because he had to go for the ball on the shortstop side, the knee kind of went with him, and bringing it back with his hand, maybe he pulled it off just enough.
He dropped that left knee down, but he didn't really completely block the bag. He gave Fold a little spot on the bag to grab onto, and it certainly looked like he did
get around the foot.
Yeah.
At least the.
Now, in watching the in-house monitors here, probably the mistake that the second baseman made was not holding the tag on Fold, because I think Fold came off the bag, but it was more of a sweep tag.
And certainly with the importance of the call, it's taking a little bit longer for New York to arrive at a final decision, because that is a go-ahead run in the ninth inning. That would be in scoring position with one out for Billy Burns with a one-strike count. And still no indication that the umpires are going to take off the headsets with the decision from New York on the replay.
Well, I know, talking to middle infielders, that they have a pretty good idea who slides head first, who slides feet first. And obviously with a feet first slide, they're not going to put their leg out there like.
Fold's reaction wasn't over the top, like there's no question I was safe at second base. He did look up at Hammery and wonder why he was called out. But it wasn't like he quickly pointed to Bob Melvin and said, hey, we need to get this thing looked at and use technology, which is, of course, what Bob Melvin was going to do here in the ninth inning of a 5-5 game. And the umpires are now taking off the headsets, and the ruling is he is out at second base.
Gee whiz. I don't get it.
I don't either.
I don't get it.
But I think the best thing from the Padres standpoint is that it was not conclusive, maybe with the leg in there. Did Sam Fold get his hand on the bag? And I agree with you, Cap. I thought he was safe in watching and seeing where the foot was.
Man,
just wasn't conclusive to overturn the decision. So 2 outs, and Burns at the plate, a one-strike count, and Kimbrel back to work. He deals and misses with a curve down and away, and it's 1 ball and 1 strike on Billy. Middlebrooks up close at third base to set the offer, and a breaking ball down. And I think had the call gone the other way, had he been ruled safe, Pat Murphy would have come out. He would have asked for replay, and it would have probably stood that on that side as well. I think it was one of those kind of plays that there just wasn't overwhelming visual evidence to change the call on the field. 2-1 pitch, and Billy just kind of tapped the baseball at the plate and fouls it off, and it's 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Well, Pat Murphy, the interim manager, just have to wonder, and the A's, of course, if they don't score this inning, they'd like to make sure that it goes to the 10th. And with Kimbrel, a one-inning pitcher now, Bob Melvin coming out, might be wondering why he was called a strike.
Bob Melvin's maybe thinking that there was catcher interference by Hedges receiving the baseball. And from Bob Melvin's point of view, he thinks that's an obvious call. That why doesn't Trip Gibson even see the call?
Well, Mike DeMiro at third base also. He's about 110 feet away.
It was.
It sure was.
Yep.
I mean, it's clear as day. And why doesn't Gibson go for help and talk to the other umpires?
They knocked the ball out of the catcher's glove.
2-2, way outside, skips away from Hedges. 3 balls and 2 strikes. That, in my opinion, that's just unacceptable.
It is unacceptable.
Not so much that he missed the call, that happens, but the fact that he wouldn't defer to the other umpires, and this happened with Burns, with Bill Miller's crew at the Coliseum, and they all saw that he made contact with the glove, but at that point they said he threw the bat at the baseball. That wasn't the case here. He takes up an away ball 4, and he'll get the walk, and maybe justice is served for the Athletics.
Vinny, the one thing, and I think we've seen in the case where he threw the bat at the ball, and there. He also foul tipped the ball, and Anaheim didn't say anything until he got back there. He has to be more assertive himself. He has to be at the plate and say, wait a minute, he hit the catcher's mitt, and maybe that will alert the home plate umpire. He said, well, I'm a rookie in the big leagues. I may not be able to say anything. Yes, you can, sure. And especially if you know that you hit the catcher's glove. And this one obviously is more obvious.
Sure. And there's 2 people that know it, the hitter and the catcher.
That's right. That's right. And the hitter has to be a little bit more adamant whenever something like that happens.
12 steals and 14 tries for Burns, and he's been pushed back to first base.
And he's got to go now. He's got to get a lead and take a chance and get in the scoring position.
And Kimbrel, thinking along the same lines, continues to push him back with a throw to the first baseman, Yonder Alonso. We're in the 9th inning. We're tied at 5. This game has gone back and forth. Both teams have had leads that have disappeared. Another throw to first, a bit high by Kimbrel, almost sailed it over Alonso and into the crowd. Outfield deep for Sogard, but well over the other way. Matt Kemp surrendering the entire right field corner. And now time called by Burns at first base, trying to get some of the dirt out of his uniform after diving back multiple times.
Well, one thing we have seen today, Hedges can't throw. He's got a very good, strong arm. A little bit offline with the throw to second.
Kimbrel delivers. The runner goes. The pitch is outside. The throw to second again, up and away, and this time Burns in safely with the hand with the head first slide. So your call right on, Ray. Go on the first pitch. Don't waste any time. And Hedges, while throwing it up and away on the shortstop side of the bag, allows Billy Burns to get his 13th steal of the year.
And this time the call of second was immediate, because there was no knee to the ground on this one. It was grab the ball and try to apply a tag, and no way it could happen.
Sogard is 0 for 4 today. Kimbrel readies and comes to the plate. Fastball bounced behind second base, and it will get through for a hit. Here comes Burns. He'll cross home plate, and the A's are back in front, 6-5. Eric Sogard over the mound and beyond the reach of the middle infielders, and the Athletics have a 6-5 advantage.
Great hitting by Sogard, even greater base running by Billy Burns to get into scoring position, and maybe Vinny just enough time taken in the challenge. We saw it last night, the challenge that ended up being a big hit by Venable after the challenge.
Now standing in is Reddick. He takes outside, ball 1. So the A's scratch out a run against Craig Kimbrel and lead it 6-5 on 8 hits, as that ball just eluded the shortstop Barmes and through to center. Reddick is 1 for 4. The righty's pitch, a curve, and it's over for a strike. It's 1-1.
Just wonder, though, we saw Hahn last night with the Venable, where the ball hit him, didn't hit him, but all this time that's taken, 1 to 2 minutes is a long time, especially if a pitcher doesn't throw. You might see them throw a little bit more to try to stay loose, because back-to-back games, that's happened.
Pitch is high. The throw to second base. Runner goes. Short hopped into second, and not in time. And Sogard gets a steal. And Reddick has a chance to build on the advantage. So the A's take advantage of the leg kick and the slow time to the plate by the closer.
And this time a double clutch by Hedges. He did not get the ball out of his glove cleanly in the transfer and had to double clutch, and that enabled, even though the throw was down in the dirt, quick tag, Sogard able to get under it.
And for Sogard, his 4th steal, the A's 43rd of the year. The right-hander delivers, and a fastball swung on and missed. At 99 miles an hour, he challenged Reddick, and that evened the count of 2 balls and 2 strikes. Tyler Clippard is now up in the A's bullpen. Barmes, Spangenberg, and Hedges are due for San Diego in the bottom of the 9th inning.
That would have another 2-out hit be right here.
Here's a 2-2. Swung on, hit high in the air down the left field line. Upton giving chase toward the sidewall, reaches up into the stands, but it continues out of play despite the effort by Justin Upton. And the battle continues for Reddick at 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Well, we cannot overlook the importance and the success Eric Sogard has had this year by comparison to last year, and coming up with big hits. And you know, a situation like that, just knowing, take a pitch, let the runner steal, and then even better to get a big hit up the middle scoring.
He's at second base. Large lead out there. And Kimbrel, the high set. 2-2. Swung on, pulled over first base. Just foul by a foot, maybe less, into the right field corner. As Reddick laced one past Alonso, and much like a tennis match, you see the replay of the ball and where it makes contact with the surface, and that one just outside the stripe. We're talking inches.
Yeah. And boy, the Georgia native and the hitter Josh Reddick loving this opportunity. Faced Kimbrel last year in Atlanta, as Kimbrel was pitching for the Braves when the A's went down there.
And he almost hit the one out opposite field to deep left center on the first pitch. Zobrist waiting on deck. 6-5 A's in the 9th inning. And Kimbrel with the 2-2. Curveball swing and a foul at the plate. So Josh hangs in there. Gets another opportunity.
That's when a hitter, after pulling a fastball as well as he did, smart enough to know he's not going to challenge me again. He's going to at least try to get him to fool him and throw a breaking pitch. And Reddick on it, fouling it off anyway, and still prepared if he gets another fastball.
He's getting a run on a hit and a couple of walks and 2 steals. 2-2, swung on high, fly ball to right. Giving chase is Kemp. A long run into foul territory, and Kemp is there to make the catch. And the inning is over. But the A's back in front. 1 run on 1 hit. Eric Sogard gets the job done. Now it's up to Tyler Clippard to nail it down. On to the bottom of the 9th. It's Oakland 6 and San Diego 5. had it well in hand. Won the game 8-1, but it was an uneven outing for Tyler. Walked a couple in the inning, threw nearly 30 pitches, and he'll face Will Venable will lead things off, coming off the bench. Then Corey Spangenberg is due, followed by Austin Hedges. We'll see how it plays out here against Clippard, trying to save it. He's 1-3 with 9 saves on the year. Venable batting .266, 5 homers and 18 driven in. 6-5 Oakland in the 9th. Now this would be quite the win for the Athletics to bounce back and forth and win a 1-run game on the road, a game which the bullpen surrendered the lead. Clippard works out of the windup. His 27th appearance. And he turns and delivers. And his first pitch to the outside corner, strike one. And began with the changeup. Venable last night drove in the only run for San Diego in the A's 9-1 win with a double over the head of Billy Burns in center. He's playing very deep in the outfield. 0-1, off speed, missing low. 1 ball and 1 strike.
What do you think about the Fegley throwing out Middlebrooks, and an impossible, almost an impossible chance to throw him out. Quick release and got the ball to second and looked like he's going to steal it easily.
Here comes the 1-1. Off speed, a wave and a miss by Venable. And he's behind at 1-2. He's looking for their 3rd consecutive win on this road trip. It'll give them a 3-2 trip, which began in Anaheim. A sign by Fegley. Here comes the 1-2 offer. Fastball pulled hard and foul past first base. AAA has over 100 years of experience saving people in trouble. That's why AAA and the American Red Cross have teamed up to help people prepare for emergencies and disasters. For every A's game-winning save this year, AAA will donate $500 to a local Red Cross so you can high-five that game-winning save. As the pitch is swung on and missed, and the dirt picked up by Fegley. He clears, steps out in front, throws to first, and Venable is retired. Knowing our community will be stronger in times of emergency. To learn more, visit AAA.com/saves. That's 10 strikeouts for Oakland pitching. Despite the problems for Scribner today, he's in line for the victory. And now here's Corey Spangenberg. He's a left-hand batter. 2 homers this year. A's leading 6-5, and the righty fires, and he misses high with ball 1.
And Derek Norris in the on-deck circle. The number 3, the day off for Dino. He is going to at least swing the bat today.
Here comes the 1-0 pitch. Off speed, missing outside. 2 balls and no strikes. A's today got a 2-run triple from Billy Burns, a 2-run homer from Ben Zobrist, an RBI from Scott Kazmir and from Eric Sogard. 2-0 off speed in there for a strike. Came back with the changeup, and it's 2-1.
Well, just as important also, the stolen base, Billy Burns, with Kimbrel thrown over and over and over, and sometimes that will discourage a base runner, gets a shorter lead, but instead he took off and he made it easily. And then the big hit by Sogard.
The 2-1. Fastball taken low. 3 balls and a strike. Mark Cannon now in the game at first base for the A's. A swing and a foul back. And a full count now at 3 balls and 2 strikes. So Mark Cannon out there for Billy Butler. Oh, it's Max Muncy at first. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
That's from earlier today with the switch with Andy Perino at third base.
Cannon was pulled from the on-deck circle. He was up to pinch hit, but then Stephen Vogt ended up swinging.
And the 3-2 offer. Swing and a miss. He cut over the changeup, and down goes Spangenberg.
Well, is that great or what? To be able to pull the string on a 3-2, and the hitter's up there trying to do one thing, and if you get on the board with a home run.
Well, around in these parts, they know about a guy that can throw a changeup as a closer.
That's right.
The number 51, which is retired here.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
And that belongs to the future Hall of Famer, Trevor Hoffman. So here's Derek Norris, the former Athletic.
And two former Nationals facing each other here. Closer for the Nationals was Clippard, now closing for the Athletics. And Dino, of course, acquired from the Nationals.
Norris, 7 homers, 39 RBIs. He takes strike one on the outside corner. And Tyler started him off with the changeup. Norris batting .266. Yesterday, batting in the 6th spot, he was 1 for 3 with a walk. His hit was an infield single. 6-5 A's, 2 outs, nobody on for the Padres in the bottom of the 9th. And the 0-1. Fastball missing high. Might be the only one he sees in this at bat. Yeah. 1 ball and 1 strike. Back-to-back Ks for Clippard. The 5th pitcher used today by Bob Melvin. Outfield very deep on Norris, and they're playing him the pull. The 1-1. Off-speed lined over third and hooked foul into the seats. And now the Padres down to their final strike.
Norris family from Goddard, Texas in town.
But he just hit that ball into a sea of green and gold down the third baseline.
And those are the ones that are chanting, "Let's go Oakland." They'll be chanting that tonight also at the Oracle. When the Warriors back in Cleveland at downtown.
The windup, the 1-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. And this game is over. Tyler Clippard and the A's come back. They beat the Padres and they end the road trip with a 3-game winning streak. Oakland in front. They win it today by the final of 6-5. And we'll come back with the totals after this.